I'll do my best.
There we are. Okay. So, last time we got together, you guys had your big exhibition match in the arena, and you
Yeah, we did.
stomped the shit out of my super pumped up dragon minions. Spent a bit of downtime. We're formally invited to become members of the Pact so that you can work more closely with Traherne and the heads of the orders of Tyria. I will say, I kind of put that on you guys without a lot of warning. This is a good point in the campaign, I suppose. If you guys are not interested in fighting the Elder Dragons, if you would rather like the Pact just do that and you guys do other stuff, that is totally viable. So if you guys are getting bored with the idea of it, or it's not something you're interested in, just let me know.
Hey man,
Yeah.
they're called the Call of Duty for a reason.
Those dragons can just chill. I don't think they're causing much problem.
I am excited to fight the Elder Dragon. So
Sabrina's got a personal vendetta, and I just want to see a dragon. So
I mean, Alexa does have a little bone to pick too.
yeah, let's fucking party.
I am
Everyone has a
excited
bone to
stat
pick with
them
the
out.
dragons.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that Fizzbins is out and Great Worms are a thing.
Oh,
Oh crap!
exciting.
Sudden reconsideration now that they're a new.
Yeah,
horde of
maybe we are too
monsters.
busy. I mean, there's a lot else going on in the world.
So right at the very end, I gave you a little preview. We talked very briefly about a couple of possibilities for today's session. And Mary, right after you hopped off to take your quiz, Zoja, the Asuran member of Destiny's Edge, paid the Trollskull Six a visit and asked for their help in kind of tying up the loose end that is Director Kudu of the Inquest. She told you guys that they have come into some information about the location of the Inquest's headquarters. It's a new, well, more details on that to come. The kicker is that the Arcane Council, which is the governing body of Rata Sum, has brokered a sort of agreement with Quippa, whom you all had captured, previously occupying Townsend's tower. The Arcane Council has kind of begrudgingly agreed to release her on probation under a sort of house arrest in Rata Sum, under the condition that she facilitate the destruction of the Inquest's secret headquarters, codenamed the Crucible. Discovered initially by your research in the Thalmanova reactor ruins, you discovered the name of this facility and provided that information to the authorities in Rata Sum. She told you that she was going to return to her lab and kind of prepare some stuff, and that when you guys were ready, just to come to Rata Sum, come to her lab, which you've been to before, and she would give you the details. So, I will say you certainly had a long rest at the end of the arena fight after a long night of partying. I believe this happened the following day, so couple of days rest. If there is anything you would like to do in Lion's Arch before you leave, the floor is yours.
Real quick question. When you say we've been to Quippa's lab, have we?
To Zoja's lab.
Oh, to Zoja's lab. Never mind. I was like, when we met Quippa, she had just like taken over Kolinar, and I was like, is somehow something happened in here?
Can we talk about, I'm still upset that we failed and she blew up those documents. I just want to know what were in those documents she blew up. It's bothered me ever since.
Yeah.
We'll have her
Thanks.
for a few days. You can ask her.
Campaign wrap-up question, maybe.
I'll use speak with that. I did want to, so quick question, just to make sure I'm doing this right. With that bloodstone, can I equip that to my +1 weapon and it just makes it a +3 weapon? Is that fine? Or does it have to be like just an ordinary weapon? Because you can attach the War Mage Ruby, and I looked this up a ton, but there's no
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll allow it because it
Okay.
won't be additive, so it won't be a +4. It'll just be a +3.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
say
that's fine. I just wanted to not have to switch out that blade again. Okay, so that's the only thing I wanted to do before we left.
Okay.
Is there any
Absolutely.
way Keytree could hunt down some healing potions, specifically greater healing potions?
I think during your last downtime you bought the supply.
I got some, but I want more.
I
God,
think with the limited time you've been here now, I think you've got what Lion's Arch has available.
All
We're
right.
going to another town though.
All right,
You
we're
are
fine.
going to Rata Sum.
It'll be fine.
We'll address Rata Sum when we get to Rata Sum.
I
That's
am
all I
gonna
have.
take the tents and climbing kits out of the bag of holding if no one has an objection, because it's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
I was gonna move some of my shit
I
into
think the only
stuff at the inn.
backup tent or do we even need a backup tent anymore?
We do if I don't have a 7th level spell slot.
Okay. So we need
We're
a
going through
fancy
the
tent.
shiver peaks. Might
Well,
be
I've
worth
still got-
taking, but otherwise I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, you're just taking out the regular tents, right? Not the 2 backup silk tents.
Although this could be out like in the Maguma or something. We don't really know.
I don't think I have a backup silk tent.
Oh, do I have those? Have I been carrying those and I didn't put them on my thing? What?
I don't
Guys,
think
you
I don't
could-
have that in the bag of holding.
Oh, will you add 2 silk tents?
Sure. How much do they weigh?
I think they're 20 pounds a piece, I think. 20. Let me double check.
20 pounds, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I gotta, I'll
20
look up the
pounds
spell.
each.
I think so. Darn it, I took the spell off my list because I hadn't been casting it because I've got my new one.
You know, Kala, I'll be generous and take out my 3 water skins so you can have that weight back. I know they took up so much room.
Yeah, I still have 24 water skins in there.
Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
Can we just take out all of the water skins then?
We should start giving them to
Oh,
people.
it's a second
Can we
level spell.
moniker them? Hand them
Cute.
out? Tchotchkes?
Good.
Use them like business cards.
Monogram them.
We
yeah.
could brand them with the symbol for
Trollskull.
6.
Hand them out
Merch,
at the bar.
merch. Does anyone have a need for a +1 shield? Okay, cool.
See,
I'm
I think
tossing it
Keytree's
into the-
carrying one.
I'm just throwing it into the tavern. Quite literally, just as we leave. Damn catch. Bye.
Here you go, Tim. Heads up.
Okay.
Serve drinks
Puts
on
it
it.
up on a coat rack.
Or Tim.
I like the idea that there's just like 14 long swords laying against the wall, like an umbrella thing.
Or they in an umbrella rack and they're just all shoved in there, like point tip down.
Exactly. I love it. One douchebag comes along, sticks it handle down. Doesn't make sense. It's fine. I'm the douchebag. All right.
I was trying to think that Galatar might be able to like craft a spell scroll for Magnificent Mansion in case he runs out of slots, but to craft a very rare like 7th level scroll is like 25,000 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
probably just craft a spell scroll for the 2nd level spell. And we just live in a tent. I'm not spending 25,000 gold. I don't have that.
Right?
For
Yeah.
one-time use.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just some of that stuff doesn't scale quite
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. People say you're supposed to have that much money at this level, and it's like, no, not really.
I mean,
Even
like,
if
yeah.
you roll the horde treasure tables, like, nah, it's not that much money.
Did you just never spend any of your money?
Maybe.
I mean, I've got a lot of money, but I don't think I have 25,000.
Yeah, it just doesn't
and not for
scale
a
well
one-use item.
at all.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
like
the one use. I guess so. I keep like.
Yeah.
1 gold is a lot for a commoner,
Mm.
and this is like you'd have 25,000. I mean, we're not gods.
Actually, so with my customized crafting rules, let's see. I even have a note. Spell scroll costs modified from Xanathar's, halved the cost, then adjusted for my OCD. There's a 7th level spell scroll would be still like 12,500.
That's slightly more. I could. I think I could actually afford. I
I
get
love the
close.
idea of crafting a 25,000 gold 7th level spell and looking at all the poor children, the street rats in Lion's Arch, and being like, here, kiddos, I give you one
That's-
beautiful mansion. And they're like, oh, forever? And they're like, no, for one
24
day.
hours.
You get 24 hours.
Would have bought so much
That's
food.
spell scroll costs specifically from a table provided by Xanathars. If I use the general magic item crafting rules that I've modified, half the cost because it's consumable would be 4,000 gold, and it would take 8 work weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah,
A lot.
but it's the sort of thing like if you had 4,000 gold, which I think you do now, if we were in the type of campaign you had like a 6-month wait between adventures, you could craft one and have it on tap, in case you needed it, and that'd be pretty dope.
The long arc campaign, like that's probably like gotta be hard to plan for because you're planning like 6 months of downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you probably just use like one roll to
Well, yeah,
do the whole thing. Yeah,
that's fair.
How much money
Arousing.
if Birdie can make gambling every week becomes like a World Series of Poker professional gambler like out there every week? That would be absurd.
It would be if he succeeded a lot. Although you could have a streak of luck like Brina and end up in debt.
Give up the adventuring life for a gambling addiction. It's worked for so many people before, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
Nothing bad can happen.
Nothing bad can happen. Do I get another one of those flatbreads? Because fuck, that was really good. All right. That's my only question.
So, there's nothing else to do in Lion's Arch.
I do have one more thing. I
Okay.
want to get some kudzu vine.
Okay.
Like enough that you might be able to wrap an Asuran in it.
Like living plants?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be alive, but just like a lot of it for a really terrible bad dad joke.
Is that like
I was gonna say,
still
I
dreamy?
don't think kudzu is native to Kryta.
Damn.
it's probably down in Kantha somewhere.
All right. Well, never mind then. It's got to be kudzu because you can't put kudu and not kudzu.
Yeah, I'm thinking that is not a native Krytan plant, unfortunately.
Oh well. I tried. Tried for my dad joke.
So, you gather your things, gird yourself for the journey to come. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can I also cast contingency with greater invisibility again? Just before I forget, because I used it in the last fight.
What's the condition?
Oh, just saying invisibility again. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. You guys travel through the Asuran Gate and find yourselves once again in Rata Sum.
Is that 10 gold? Or they just let us?
Are they
Listen,
fronting
now-
for us since this is official business?
Yeah, at this point, when you guys walk in to the Asuran Gate hub, which is just off the harbor proper, there is an Asura there. Let me check what her name is. Arch Harbor Ward? Oh. Merchant's Ward? Yes, Asura Gate Hub. Pakka. Pakka. The only Asuran merchant prince in the city. Pakka runs the Asuran Gate hub. She is a member of the College of Synergetics that designed the Asuran Gates and maintained them. They have a proprietary patent that like no one else is allowed to own or operate or create Asuran Gates aside from licensed Synergetics members. and Paka runs this hub, and this is the only hub that is truly a hub for multiple cities like this, anywhere outside of Rata Sum. And at this point, as you guys kind of come and go, she'll come out from her office, just give you guys a little nod, little Asuran salute, and just sort of wave the guards down. And you guys, you don't need to subtract 10 gold every time you go through the gates
Oh,
anymore.
fuck yeah, we're famous. We made it, guys.
Do they salute as we go past, like, since we're
Official business?
commanders?
The gate guards don't, because they're not part of the pact.
Oh.
But they do kind of, as you
No
guys come
respect.
strolling through,
Make note of
see,
that.
like all their eyes kind of follow you, give you a little nod of appreciation.
Were we ever given like
No.
any sort of patch? The medal comes after we defeat the Elven Dragons,
Yeah,
right?
no,
And
you
that is
were-
part of
you were
our
not given
contract.
A badge or a patch or any sort of symbol of rank.
Ellen Keel
Yeah,
gave him
we
a heads up
weren't.
first.
We weren't given any
That
sort of symbol
headgear.
of rank.
Oddly, no.
They gave you a
You-
badge
you do-
one
you
time, and
have-
Ryan said never
You
again.
do have the matching Trollskull helmets.
Oh yeah, can I take that off? I don't know. It's not.
You don't have to wear them. It was for the arena
Yeah.
show, but that is the only matching piece of anything that was given to you.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
Nah.
send a letter to my representative.
What do they do if we just make our own badges and wear them?
Sabrina's gonna be in her bunk bed, like making friendship bracelets from this.
Amazing.
We'll take care.
I will say that as you guys are making your way around the harbor ward, sort of taking the road that skirts the edge of the harbor itself, looking out over this sort of pristine, safe haven where a lot of the local fishermen's and merchant trading vessels have docked inside the sort of chain gate that they have at the mouth of the harbor. If you follow this road around, you pass close by the Crow's Nest, where the Pact commanders are, planning and strategizing. And you're making your way towards the gate hub. Your attention is caught by a group of small children that are running around, kind of laughing and giggling and shouting and screaming sometimes. And you can see like a couple of them have little broom handles. Some of them have little twigs and sticks, and others are just like waving their hands around.
Hey, Birdie, who are those kids? Do you know them?
Of course, I know them, Alexa. Local street children. They all know me. I don't know
That's
their
what I
names,
thought,
but-
yeah.
An investigation check, Birdie. 21.
21. Highest
You-
he's ever rolled on investigation.
You do recognize one of them. As you've kind of messed around, getting the kids to be your little spies from time to time. Like this one kid tends to hang out on the street, dresses kind of ragged, but like you've seen him with his family, and they seem like decent enough folks. They're just, common
Yeah.
dustmen.
Yeah, that's Jimothy. He's
Kyle.
no. That's Kyle. He's a good kid. Run some errands for me before. Kyle. I've sent him on a couple liquor runs. He's a good kid. Good kid. Yeah.
Why liquor runs? We live above a bar.
I'm a wealthy member of the community. It's my duty to support the local street children. Yeah, I got to provide work. Nobody else is going to do it. So,
Builds character.
Yeah, it does. I think it instills the value of a hard day's work for these kids.
Yeah, plus they probably need the money. Actually, Bertie, it's fucked up you don't give away more of this, like, the loose chain.
I pay a fair wage. 1 copper is plenty for them.
Weren't you gonna set up some sort of orphanage at one point?
For a crime.
As you guys are walking past and having this discussion, a little girl, maybe 8 years old, curly blonde hair, bright blue eyes, comes skipping up to the rest of the group, who all kind of stop and kind of wait for her to join the group. You see she has like a thick rope kind of tied around her waist, with one end sort of dragging the ground behind her. And sort of hanging from the left side of it, just kind of tucked in under the rope, are 3 thistles, like thistle flowers that have been picked. And you can see she goes up to the group and they start talking, and one of them runs over and grabs what looks like a broom that has been cut, like the handle's been cut or broken off at a certain length. and he comes over, and this is Kyle, the little boy you recognize, and he hands it to her and like tries to like shove it into her hands. And you see like she puts her hands on her hips and is pouting. She stamps her foot, and you see she's getting kind of emotional. Kitri, with your passive perception, you hear her say, "It's not fair. I don't want to be Birdie."
This bitch.
And
Are you?
the little boy who's like shoving the broom into her hands says, "But you're the pretty one. It just makes sense." And then another girl, there's another little girl among them, that kind of awkwardly shuffles and says, "Well, I don't know. Brom's pretty handsome." And she blushes a little bit as one of the other boys sort of like puffs up his chest a little bit. As you all kind of stop and you see Kitri kind of cock her head, and as you're hearing this, the pretty little blonde girl continues and says, "But I want to play Carla the Killer. Look, I even made a costume." And she like pulls her rope tail.
That cultural
She turns and
appropriation.
points to the 3 thistles like, "Look, I've even got kill trophies."
Oh.
And you see like they kind of cluster up together and they start pointing at each other and reassigning roles as
Have
these
they
kids
noticed
are.
us yet?
No, you guys are just walking around and they're off. They're probably about 40 feet away, and there are people coming and going. You know, there's traffic in this district, so they're just kind of standing near like an apple stand right now.
Kyle's gonna give him a fucking sword, isn't she?
I
Gonna
was,
be
I was
like,
thinking
"Here,
about
kid, have a
something similar.
Yeah,
Oh, Kichi, what are you standing and looking at those kids for?
Oh, they're just being us, I guess. Like playing?
Like they want to go on adventures?
No, like the little girl wants to be Kala, and that rope around her waist is supposed to be her tail. I think.
Oh, I guess I
don't really
see
understand
it
what's
now.
happening here.
They're just like play
I know a lot
pretend.
about human children.
I like to
Yep.
play pretend. Yeah, that's what kids like to do.
Yeah.
You know, you want to emulate what you want to be when you grow up.
Wait, so aren't they playing pretend, but they're playing pretend us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You guys kinda look, peer, you know, through this bustling dockside crowd. Brina, now that you're kind of drawn to it, you see that there's one boy among them, kind of like red hair, fair skin, freckled nose, and he's smaller than the rest. He's very like skinny, scrawny, like wayfish looking almost. And he very hesitantly speaks. You catch he has like a slight lisp, and he just says, Would it be alright if I played Brina? Because she's big and strong. Someday I'll be as big and strong as she is."
Rina's eyes are like the anime eyes where they well up with tears and like sparkle.
You see he's basically dragging what looks like a 2x4 with him. That's about like 4 feet long, which is about 1.5 feet taller than he is. He's just sort of dragging it, and he kind of lifts it up over his shoulder. You know, it's like a great sword.
Guys, do we say hi? Guys, I want to say hi
I
because
guess. Yeah.
I don't know what
Sure.
to do. You know, we could give them some of our water skins.
Do
Trollskull
There's
Six.
so many water
Official
skins.
collector's item.
Amazing. Do I see one that's trying to play Galatar?
Well, yes. So each of them is trying to play one of you. Well, and as you get closer, the blonde girl runs over behind one of the stalls and picks up what looks like at first it kind of looks like a little wicker basket, like you might put flowers in. She turns it upside down and you see that it's been woven to be kind of pointed on each end. She kind of sits it on her head, so it's like 2 little horns to mimic Kala's. And yes, there is the boy that was paid a compliment and kind of puffed his chest up. The girl said his name was Brom. He is sort of wearing a, you could call it bluish, kind of long shirt. It's not really a robe because he's about 3 feet tall, but yeah, there's definitely a bluish tinge to it. It looks like maybe one of his dad's shirts or something, kind of belted tightly around his waist.
Cool. Can I cast prejudice? Can I cast prestidigitation to create like a little shower of sparks around him? Like almost like some sort of firework or something nearby.
I think you'd have to get close to him.
It just has to be within 10 feet. Yeah. So it would be like if we're passing by them.
As we get
You're
close.
fairly far away as you're so like if you're going down the dock side, they're perpendicular away from the harbor about 40 or 50 feet, and there's like
Gotcha.
a crowd kind of passing between you, so you'd have to get closer to them.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll start like if everybody wants to mosey that way, if Kala wants to give them things.
We might make
We'll
be
walk
their
over
best
there.
day of the week.
I like how Kala's become the altruistic one of the group.
She does love to give kids knives. I mean, they have to protect themselves somehow.
It's just weird that humans just, like, they don't take care of their kids sometimes. They just let them live in the street. Char
Yeah.
don't do that.
Builds character, but like in their own
Where
way.
do the
I mean-
children stay?
They live, it's called the Farrar. It's like a school.
Yeah, they have like universal health care over there. It's
Yeah.
They have universal healthcare?
In a way.
It's
Yeah.
incredible. Huh.
We just have really shitty insurance as the Trollskull Six.
Self-insured.
Life insurance.
We are self-insured, yes.
As you guys start kind of making your way through the crowd, a couple of people notice you and see that it is you, and like grown-ups kind of stop and, oh, hey, and you can hear like whispers, and a couple people point as you pass. Some people just sort of wave or curtsy, kind of move out of your space. The pretty little blonde girl notices you first because the other kids are kind of facing away from you, and her eyes just go wide and she just points, and everyone's just like, what, and they're like trying to talk to her, and finally a couple of them turn around, and just about the time you guys approach, they all just sort of freeze for a second, their eyes wide, and then a couple of the boys and one of the girls just sort of like jumping up and down and cheering and just chanting like Trollskull Six, Trollskull Six, it's it, damn, it's the Trollskull Six. They start like dancing around you and like skipping, and Kala, you catch like one of them tries to like pat your tail as they pass.
It's really offensive.
So cute.
I just let them do it. I don't care.
Check my Title IX rights.
I feel like
And
Kala's
they-
tail could like body check one of these kids. TBH.
Rip 'em. I think Brina just doesn't really know what to do. Nah, she's fucking sick. Like, she's super excited. She picks one of them up and puts him on her shoulders. Woohoo!
Yeah, so that kid is super
Rocky.
excited. A couple of them are doing that awkward kid thing where they just kind of like freak out and don't really pay attention to you because they're so embarrassed.
We do.
You see the little ginger boy, the little scrawny guy, is just sort of standing there, like arms kind of clutched on his chest, and he's just looking up at you with like big cow eyes. There's almost like a little quiver to his lip.
Hey man, what's up?
Nothing.
Me too. Just hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, just playing.
Oh, cool. I like your sword.
He like picks it up and looks at it and just like hands it
Wow.
to you. It's just like a
Aw.
2x4.
Oh, this one's pretty good.
Brina,
I
Why?
found it on
so
the
give him
wall.
a sword.
What the
You're not allowed to give human kids weapons.
what
Well,
does that
that is
do?
a rather recent law, I will say.
I think I did
not-
like a dart. Those are really little. I'm like conferring with Colin Bree. What does like a little Rena like digs in her pockets because she knows she's got some shit to hand this child.
I have a bunch of teeth, but I think that's a bad idea too.
Oh, does anyone
I
want
was
teeth?
gonna say, I've got a
Girl with
crossworm
the
tooth.
little golden curls comes up and like tugs on your sleeve, Kala, and just says, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
I'm Caitlin. Is it true you killed 100 Char?
Well, it was more like a dozen or so. Not quite 100. Not yet.
Yeah, told you.
Not yet. Working
No,
on it,
these
kid.
kids are just kind of like going wild, and the one named Brahm kind of walks over towards you, Galatar, and just kind of like gives you a once over, like sizing you up. This kid is like the biggest of the group.
Will beat up Galatar.
He may have a higher strength score if we're being
Steals
honest.
fucking lunch money.
And being the biggest of the group, he's like 4'3". But yeah, he comes over and kind of like sizes you up a little bit, crosses his arms, and just says,
He's taller than I am, just for the record.
"How long did it take you to become a wizard?"
Well, I didn't really start using magic until I was like 20.
Made me think of it's like drugs.
You can see like he's doing very complex for him arithmetic in his head. And he thinks about it a couple of solid seconds. Says, "Okay, so if I start now, I'll be more powerful than you."
Absolutely, you
20.
would be the greatest wizard of all time.
How do you start?
Well, there are lots of good places where you can find teachers, or you just need to know somebody you trust, and then you just have to practice a lot. It's a lot of learning the formulas and learning the little arcane symbols. I could teach you sometime if you would like.
Or just be
A little
naturally gifted.
busy
And
at
I'll
the
do a little
moment, but I could
prestidigitation.
come back if you want.
Sounds
His eyes just
lame.
kind of go wide. Yeah, that'd be great.
Galatar's
Awesome.
gonna open a fucking school of magic.
I know. Let's go to school.
You think
It's a
I'm
good-
not taking an 8th level spell that lets me create a castle so I can create Hogwarts in this bitch? You're wrong.
Oh, God.
Trollskull Academy.
Nice TSA. What branding?
Oh, that's too much.
Can
Never
We'll
Really
have
your
ineffective
heroes.
security at the door.
Just guards and wards everywhere.
just like 17 metal detectors. Can Brina look at the little red-haired dude? I don't think I ever got his name. Hey, what's your name?
Thorim.
Thorim? Hey man, I don't have any like swords on me other than the ones that I like really need. But you can borrow them sometime if you're around. But I do have something, and she like digs in her pocket and pulls out one of the frostworm teeth.
Okay.
Okay. So where I'm from, there's these big ass worms. Oh, sorry. Are we allowed to pass?
Brina,
I'm sorry. I haven't
Child.
Wait, you can't curse in front
Watch
of
your fucking
human
mouth,
children either?
Brina.
God damn it.
What is that? It's scripted in
That's like the first words Char Cubs learn.
He just kind of listens. It's alright. I
Oh,
live near the
okay.
docks.
All right. So I just adopted your accent. Sorry. All right. What his voice is now.
That's cultural appropriation.
Brina from Courtney. Where I'm from? What are these big ass? No, not funny. Oh, I can't do it anymore.
Next character.
Brina.
I'm losing it.
Okay. So, sorry, my friends are being buttholes right now, but like in the fun way.
But that's why we're friends.
He
Yeah.
is blushing as dark as his hair. Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
you're a cute one. Okay, here's a big tooth from this giant worm that lives in the ground where I'm from, up in the Shiver Peak Mountains, and we killed it one time. But it also ate us. But we lived. Man, I got to work on the storytelling.
Sorry.
It was really hey, it was really nice to meet you, Thorin. You're very strong, and I'm really excited for you to I don't know, grow up and do cool stuff. I don't remember what I do
takes
you
it
throw stuff
very-
in the river?
It's like you're handing him Excalibur.
Oh.
He just accepts this tooth, which is like both of his hands kind of cup the bottom of it because it's so big. And he's just looking at it in like wide-eyed wonder. And the other kids kind of like calm down and come gather around him. A couple of them are like patting him on the back, you know, like putting their hands on his shoulder and like giving him a shake. You see that the blonde, Caitlin, is kind of standing behind the others, and she's giving him like a warm smile, and then she looks at you and
Oh,
So teeth are okay, not too dangerous.
It's like
I mean, it's just like kind of.
involved.
it's just kind of like a tchotchke, you know, like a little bobble. It's fine.
Sure.
Just don't run with it. Don't hold it out in front of
I'll-
you and run.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they are
Just
very
don't do
sharp.
that.
They hurt when they hit you very badly.
that is a good rule.
I'll pull out 5 more teeth.
Yeah.
I go, "Oh,
Beef, beef,
Frostworm?
beef.
oh, okay.
yeah.
I
We
took
are
seven,
Yeah, so
you know,
each of them gets a frostworm tooth.
I think I just
And,
have
like
my own.
as you start producing these extras, like they didn't think there were more coming, and they just all are enraptured and excited. Thorum is just kind of like bouncing around from like, look, she gave me. I told you one day it'd be big and strong like Brenna. Mom says I could just about eat a whole Dolyak right now.
Well,
This is so
if you all are ever
delightful.
looking for work, come on to the Trollskull Tavern. We have all sorts of things we can hire you to do. Yeah,
yeah,
Pays
Kyle
great.
knows
Yeah.
where it is, right?
no benefits.
Brom, are you normally here, Brom, or do you like go back between different cities, or?
He just kind of looks around and says, "Oh, no, we all live here in LA."
Cool. When we get back, come find us and I can teach you maybe a spell or two. And I could maybe even teach you how to do this. And he'll just snap his fingers and have Ebu like appear on his hand, like a little falconry.
Yeah, they all just kind of, ooh, yeah. You can see now, like, there are several adults who have kind of gathered around the periphery, like 30 feet away, like they're giving you space, but they're all sort of just eagerly watching what's going on. A couple of there are a couple of women sitting around just like, oh, look.
We're giving them sharp objects.
Look at the tooth daggers they gave our children.
It's like meeting a Neil deGrasse Tyson and him giving you like a great white shark tooth or something, you know. It's cool. You're not going to get in trouble with the parents.
Interesting
Honestly,
example.
though, if that happened in real life, I'd be thrilled. Not sure why Neil deGrasse Tyson would have shark teeth, but man.
Right.
I
I'd
was
be
just thinking of like a
confused.
famous scientist. I
Bill
grew up
Nye,
in Florida.
yeah.
I did a lot of shark tooth
Astrophysicist.
hunting.
Astrophysicist.
You can find megalodon teeth that are like, you know, huge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you guys have a little moment. Make some new friends.
Is anybody dressed as Birdie? Is anybody rocking that
Willingly
suit?
want to be Birdie.
What's Kyle? Who's Kyle? What's he up to?
You can see that Kyle, the reason he had the broom is because that is his loot.
Oh,
So
Ooh,
he
that's
can't,
Aw.
and you can see like the clothes that he's wearing are a little bit tattered from wear. It's just like a plain tunic, but you can see like he has
All those
attempted
buttons.
to do his hair. So it's like parts of it are like in small braids, and it's like really like hard pushed down, almost like maybe he found some sort of pomade and like tried to slick it over a little. Yeah,
Yeah, Verdi will
sandy
kneel
blonde
down.
brown hair.
Yeah, Verdi will kneel down to Kyle. Oh yeah, he's kind of like not like directly, but like kind of quietly. He's like, Kyle, I appreciate the attempt, but the broom is a little embarrassing. And he's just gonna pull out like his pan flute. And like, you need an actual instrument, and he'll kind of hand it to him.
Oh yeah, like it. You can see like he stutters for a second, like his body's sort of shaking, and there's like a little tear that forms in his eye. It doesn't quite fall out, but you can see like he is overcome with emotion.
Wow.
And
Well,
I'll say, in the
Verdi's-
hair, you know. Just, I'll give him a gold piece, maybe some product. And
Snatches that coin out of your hand so
Yeah,
fast, it's
I
almost
bet.
like a magic trick.
yeah.
And you can see like as he turns to kind of sprint back towards his group, and he stops and he turns and he gives you a look that's equal parts awe and yeah.
Oh. While Birdie's doing that, can I take out a piece of parchment and write a little note to Tim telling him to feed these kids whatever they want, whenever they want, and give it to them and just say, if you ever happen to be over near Trollskull Alley, take this inside. You can have a meal whenever you want, free of charge.
Are these like poor street kids, or are they just like kids that are on the street that have parents?
It looks like a couple of them are more poor than the others. Kyle's pretty well tattered,
Cool.
and Thorum has certainly grown up living in the harbor district down by the docks. The others, like, they don't look wealthy, but you know, probably butchers, blacksmiths, tailors, seamstresses, parents, and stuff like that. So you reach down to hand the note to one of the kids, and it's kind of middle size of the group, kind of mousy brown hair, not really kempt. It's sort of like wild all over the place. It looks like it was very sort of haphazardly cut at sort of like a medium length. But they are wearing a wreath of flowers around their hair, and they have like a couple of them like poked into random holes in their clothing, just
Now
like
we know who
flowers
that
sort of
one is.
hanging off of them.
There's
Are
a
the
second
flowers-
Brina?
Are the
Brina's like picking her fucking nose. It's not-
are the flowers like fresh? Are they blooming? Like
Some
she's
of
gonna
them
make
more
them
than
like
others.
she's gonna druid craft to make everything really like fresh.
So as you like go down and start to cast that spell and wave your hands around, this kid leans in and just whispers, and you are the only one who hears this. And there's just this soft sort of silky whisper that says, "I think you're beautiful." And like she doesn't make eye contact. They're sort of just looking around, eyes mostly on the ground.
Keeper will whisper back to her, "So are you."
They do like a little tap dance. Hard to tell if this is a boy or a girl. They're kind of gender neutral.
It's just child. Get out of here. All kids are androgynous until they're not. Get out of here,
It's kind of.
youth. All right, Brina gives Thorum a really good high five that knocks him off his feet a little bit.
Absolutely.
Later, buddy.
Well, yeah,
got
now
the-
at this point, I gotta know who's playing Alexa.
Oh, yeah.
There is a young girl that has what looks like maybe a rug. It's almost like a paisley, like a red Persian rug. It's very thin, but it's sort of draped over the shoulders like a long shawl, sort of dragging the ground. And their hair is tied in two little fun buns.
I will telepathy her over and say, "I think you are look really great as me. Would you like something to top it off?"
She turns to you and doesn't say anything, but her eyes are wide and she sort of nods vigorously.
I will untie my magic bandana that has the blinking eyes on it. They just magically blink, and I will give it to her.
Tight.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, she is absolutely immediately ties it on her own head. Yeah, it's a little bit crooked, but she's just besmitten.
That'll help you see better.
She gives you a wink. She turns to the others and starts like waving her hands. Yeah, a nice little moment.
All right. Well, have fun, kids. We have to go, I don't know, kill something, I imagine.
Yeah, we're killing
Hopefully,
some
we'll be
Inquest.
back.
They tell you, Galatar, that they will ask their parents for permission to go to the tavern.
To hang out in a bar.
Oh, but don't
With
go after your
Alex.
6 because then it becomes a full bar. So do not. Yeah, it's age appropriate before sundown, not after sundown.
We serve tapas from 7 to 9, but 9 after it's hard liquor only.
You guys
Anyway.
make your way further away from them towards the Asuran gate. You hear them all call out in unison the way kids do. Bye.
Hmm.
And you see, like, there are a couple of adults who have been kind of lingering nearby, and they're all just looking like, yeah, like nodding at each other, like, damn, it's cool. All right.
We saved the city.
We've turned some youths away from crime.
And on to killing. This is the crime.
We just get back and there's like a Lions Arch newspaper article. Several mysterious deaths with two-shaped holes.
I like that. Like we like walk away from the kids, and then like across the screen, it's like the Trollskull Six died later that day in Zalmanova or whatever.
Yeah, in the Crucible. They were never seen from again.
Exactly.
Dear God, that would really icing on the cake right there.
Let's just give them some childhood drama. Adds a little spice.
They actually all survived. They just couldn't get medical care.
They couldn't afford it.
Only Kala could get adequate medical care.
All right. So yes, you are given nods of acknowledgement as you pass through the Asuran Gate. But eventually, you do find yourselves back in Rata Sum, capital city of the Asuran, on top of a floating cube above the outskirts of the Maguma jungle, high up in a mountain pass. As you emerge through the gate, you find yourselves in what I believe is called the Creative Commons. It's a sort of wide, flat area, and on each side away from you are pyramid-shaped structures for each of the colleges, synergetics, dynamics, and statics. And floating centrally above you is another smaller cube where the offices of the Arcane Council are. All around you is just teeming with 3.5 feet tall Asurans in a variety of outfits. Some wearing hooded cowls with bright geometric patterns, some wearing, breeches and tunics, some pulling carts, some being followed around by medium or even large automatons. Everywhere you look, there are floating cubes and spheres and crystals of all sorts of different colors glowing. Occasionally, through the traffic, you do easily notice the shape of a human, or very rarely a Norn or a Char. There are very few Sylvari. If you saw one or two while you were in town, it would be an interesting encounter, because they tend to kind of avoid this place. It's so far removed from the natural world.
Speaking of constructs, did we bring our golem? I can't remember. Grimace. Did we bring Grimace with us? No.
He's still at the tavern.
Good on him.
Did you leave him in the bar, or is he in your room?
I guess he'd be in my room.
Okay. I didn't know he was just kind of menacing there with his blades hanging out.
Well, I didn't give him the belt, but I would just told him that if something happened, go grab the belt and just use Grimace as a security guard.
Make Grimace the bouncer.
Yeah, we finally have a bouncer.
I don't think he bounces very well. I think he just stabs.
He bounces really well. Hey, do you
That's
guys
true.
think we have time for an aggro concert before we have to fucking...
Oh my god, I was just thinking about her.
I was listening to our album on the way here, and I got to say, shit kind of goes off.
And how does one do that, Brina?
Oh, you just hum the music to yourself.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, cool. That's fun. Yeah, I've never, as a professional musician, I've never heard of the sequence of words you used before.
That's like a
that was
problem.
That was fun though. That's good. I'm glad you do that.
I could send Fix a message and see if there's a concert going on.
Is that the person that is?
No.
Who is it that we think is
that,
the one?
Hannah Montana?
sells baked
it's-
goods.
Yeah, allegedly the person in one of the shops is our
Right.
hunch as to who.
Yeah.
it is now.
I'm gonna go grab my like volume 1 notebook and dig through my Rata notes. I meant to do that.
I don't
We can get her
remember.
on the way back.
I guess I think I.
Yeah, it might be a way back problem.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Is that it?
We could celebrate our victory with an aggro concert.
I like that plan.
That'd be fun.
Haka.
Haka. Okay.
Haka, who runs Haka's Instrumental Emporium.
Right.
Sorry, I think that's where I got one of my things. It's the one that does like the
Oh, was it
words you can write.
Sphinx?
Instrument of scribing is where I got that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Was it actually Sphinx and not whatever I'd said before?
I think it was Fix, Fixx, if I recall correctly.
SI. Okay, yeah, no, I have it two different ways, side by side, actually.
Yeah. Our first Rata Sum adventure was on January 20th, 2021. So I can't imagine why you guys don't remember off the top of your head all the
It
NPCs.
is, in fact, what it was.
Feels very silly.
Wow, it was that long ago.
Sad that when you said that, I was like, oh, it's only 2 months. Wild.
Close. Close.
It's not 2022.
It is 2022.
No.
Boo.
Your
Tomato,
dad jokes are
tomato.
done.
I wish it was a joke. I wish I was joking that this was not as bad as 2020.
Boo, tomato, tomato. Goodness.
But we don't wear masks at Marshall anymore, so that's great.
Oh, that's nice. I
We don't
think.
mask on
Or it's
campus
bad.
either.
I
How are
don't.
your rates of transmission?
We're green. That's the only reason why we're allowed to not have masks.
I had to go dig out the OG notebook. I actually spelled his name Phixx.
It was right the second time.
Ooh.
Definitely did not do that. Okay.
So wait, who is Fix?
Fix and Lila were two groupies.
Fix is a drug
Oh.
dealer too.
And Fix had the That is then the third line. I have Hannah Montana, Haka, Fix and Lila, and then Birdie hooks us up, or Fix hooks us up with Birdie. Yeah. And then Gally made us the munchie snacks.
Oh yeah.
I remember now.
Wow, you all have done drugs a lot. A lot of different races, a lot of different cultures.
We didn't do drugs in the Shiver Peaks, and that's a slight regret.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
going
get
back.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
Flat lodge kind of thing.
Well, yeah, do it when we
Or
go
it's all
back.
about clean living.
The best one I think was the one with the Sylvari. That one was very entertaining.
Yeah, because Keitra got weed. Anyways.
She sure did. That dominatrix.
yeah, that one was.
We are.
Safari got kinks.
Jesus
Mhm.
Christ.
That thorn whip.
Ooh.
All right. Do we have to go find Quippa or the Zoja
Are we gonna rock out?
with
Well,
our
before we go to find Quippa, did we want to like see if there are any more useful things here? I know last time you all came, you like looked for any magical trinkets and things.
Right, you
think they would
came
have
later. You
anything
didn't
new?
really get to explore much.
Oh yeah, Galitar. We found drugs if you want.
We found bookstores too.
I would just be curious to see if there are any like little magical things that might make it easier for like sneaking or blinding or anything like that if we're trying to be stealthy.
We are supposedly going to try to be stealthy. I guess that means no grenades this time.
Who made this rule? I'm sorry. What?
Are we supposed to be sneaky this time?
Yeah,
But-
I'm.
She said that she wanted us to like recover some of the research notes and things and like sneak in and deal with Kudu. I mean, theoretically we can fight. It's just, I think sneaking would ensure they do not blow up their research before we can get to it.
All right.
Maybe we
Alright,
get like
yeah.
a stink
Think that
bomb.
should go
You
well.
know, if you roll one in the room, everyone's gonna clear out.
I've got some.
Maybe we just don't
I've
bait.
got several things that we could potentially use to be sneaky. Yeah. Several things.
There's no magic that'll make you as short as me. Just to point that out.
Hmm.
Yeah. No. I mean, well, I don't know. Yeah. No, not that. But
There actually is.
Okay, that's fair. There are alternate magics. But you don't necessarily keep all your sensibilities.
so I have a potion of gaseous form that we could potentially use if we were trying to be sneaky. I see. I also have those marvelous pigments. So if we need to like kind of cut a hole in a wall kind of deal, I can do that. Yeah, those are the main sneaky things I have. We can also just bribe people. I don't know.
I
we
can
never
make us all
tried that, but-
invisible if we need it.
Maybe we
Yeah.
do more programmer strategies when we get closer to our
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
see
just
what
wanted to
works.
see
information.
if you all thought we had time to like check one of the little magical shops that you all went to last time or not. I don't. If we don't have
I
time, that's
guess.
fine.
I mean,
I think
what would you
She
just
doesn't
say
know
to
we're
me
here.
at a certain
Yeah.
time? Yeah.
Schedule, yeah. Like if we're on a schedule, we probably wouldn't have time. But if there's just like, oh yeah, show up, then I'd like to go shopping.
The
little
Trollskull
Leo-
6 do not do schedules.
Yeah, timelines are loosey goosey right now. I think we've got like a day or two to play with.
Okay, yeah. I
Is
mean,
it
if we have time,
lovely?
if that's okay.
What are you guys doing?
Wandering
Yes,
shops.
going to a little
That's a good
like
question.
magic item shop.
When we got to take him to the bookstore.
I didn't get to go last time, so I'm real curious.
Yeah.
Let Galator play.
Let me be a nerd.
Play this
Let
game.
him play, Ref.
I have 14,000 gold. I want to spend it.
So
I'm gonna buy all the books.
there are a variety of mercantile services in Rata Sum.
Actually, I think I'm gonna get a new headband.
Easily enough. So the first place that the group leads you, so you've got this Creative Commons sort of, think of it like an open plaza, almost like a flea market. It's kind of like the Grand Souk in Lion's Arch.
Mhm.
But there are ramps, walkways that go down. They descend into the interior of this floating cube city. And there are portions over the ramps where like daylight can come in to penetrate these underground layers or under surface layers. And you notice that as you kind of descend into the darkness, that is augmented by enchanted gems and glass domes kind of hung from the ceilings in various places that seem to filter in daylight from somewhere by magical means. It's actually very well lit down here. But the second layer of the city, so to speak, has another variety of trading areas. There's a representative of the Black Lion Trading Company. There is a Shunlai Banking Guild. And that is all kind of in the central city area beneath where the Creative Commons would be, where you entered the city. Small bridges go off to 3 different sides in the same direction as the pyramids on the upper level for the colleges. And there are these big banners along the bridges that identify them as the College of Dynamics Plaza, College of Synergetics Plaza, and the College of Statics Plaza. So you kind of go from this central area under the first level, you cross a bridge, and as you look up, it is a hollow space above you, so you're seeing the open sky about like 30 or 40 feet above you. You can see like the floor of the upper level. And as you cross into the College of Dynamics, I am blanking. Alexa
Yeah.
leads you to a store
Yes,
that
I
has
do.
a bright sign in gilded letters above it that says Fett's Finery.
Ooh.
And inside it's kind of a bustle of Asura in very bright, very bold clothing, a sort of not Met Gala, but like an odd, like runway fashion sort of level of weirdness. Lots of geometric angles and bold clashing primary colors, exotic animal like feathers and tufts of fur and odd colored prints, and sort of bouncing hither and yon through them is a male Asura with straight black hair cut in like a bob, just at the same level of their long sort of floppy ears. They turn to you and they have a big pair of black-rimmed goggles over their already large eyes, magnifying them to cartoonish proportions. And as you all enter, you see this young man stops. Ah, so good of you to come back, darlings. It's been so long.
I forgot.
Oh my god, I remember now.
So worth it.
You look as beautiful as the day we saw you.
Thank you, darling. You look kind of a mess yourself, but that's okay. It's why
Okay,
I'm
but-
here.
Not my feelings.
This is like the
Tell me.
Asuran Bertie.
What can Fett do for you today?
I think we came for something maybe a little sneaky, a little hidey, a little subvert. And I need a new headband.
I don't know if this is a place that does sneaky, subtle.
Oh boy, what is this?
I don't know.
So,
Pull yourself together. My girl. Anyways,
I love it so much.
for real.
Yeah.
Um,
You said black bob and like goggles, and I was like, wait a second, this person's like 3 feet tall. This is
Literally, it's an Azura. Big floppy ears hanging out of the side. So you say that, and they lean forward, and he says, I'm sorry, darling. We don't do stealthy here. There's no point in that.
I agree. Yeah.
Besides, I never did like this outfit you have on. All of these eyes. It doesn't do anything for me. It's bold, but you all look like garbage. We must do something different. This is tired. This is last year.
literally.
I bought this here.
Yes, but
In the past, darling. It distinguishes
Yeah.
from the now.
you bought it here
Oh.
like several months ago, which at that point is,
How fast does fashion change?
daily.
Like the weather, only faster.
Yeah.
Okay, well, could you make us something, and I'll pull out like the little troll skull helmet thing. Could you make us something of like a piece of clothing we could all wear that would be fashionable, but maybe have this symbol on it? Like this is a symbol, or do something like that?
matching outfits.
Kind of like takes this big
Not doing that. No.
steel troll jaw and forehead and sort of turns it side to side.
Surprised he even touches it.
Well, he needs to get a good look at it in a 3D way. And he just says, "Ah, gods, why would you ever want something like that on your body? I don't understand the point of this, but if you must have it, there are things we could do."
Well, I don't want like, that's the problem. I don't want to wear the helmet, but I like the like logo idea of it.
Claps his hands. You see like 2 or 3 assistants come scurrying from you don't know where. They just like appear out of piles of clothing. Starts barking orders, and eventually there are a couple of things kind of laid out before you. So they have a variety of services at this location. You can purchase common glamour weave, which as a bonus action you can kind of create a moving illusory pattern on the cloth. To get the uncommon variety, there's a little bit of an upcharge, but you can create a harmless illusory effect that's kind of 3D, just for like a couple of inches. Like if you just wanted like flames on your shoulder pauldrons or something, you could do that. Kala is wearing some kit that can contain the illusory appearance of up to 5 total outfits. It's called shift weave. So it's not quite disguise self because it's only the clothing, and it's limited to 5 specific outfits. But as an action, you can change the way what you're wearing looks. And if somebody touches it, it's clearly an illusion. This is where Kitri bought her boots of levitation. Currently, they do not have any of those. I think Brina bought boots of striding and springing?
I believe you're correct.
Haven't seen those in a while.
Yeah.
And some goggles of night, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, they had some very stylish, like emerald lenses and gold frame. And this is where Birdie bought his tensorific choker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are other like little bits of formal wear that you can commission to have very basic like cantrip level effects, like clothes of mending that constantly repair the sort of daily wear and tear of travel.
I've got it here. Could we get 6 ascots? Whatever vibrant pink you have that is best, and we'll have, if we could have that troll skull kind of embroidered on a corner, that would be swell.
Let's see, this was.
I think that would go great with this gauntlet I used to not melt you all.
Yeah.
Birdie, are you still wearing the glitter blade?
I still do have the glitter blade, yeah.
Okay. So Fett sees that and says, "How about something opalescent, something with a little iridescence to it? It would match your sword. I see you're carrying one of Jax's
Love it.
work."
I love it. Yeah, let's do it. Sold. Don't have to tell me twice. And we'll just do 6 of those, and one for everyone, please.
And you just want like the helmet skull looking thing embroidered on it?
Yeah, like a little troll skull embroidery.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the little X with the dots on it for the Crichton number 6.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, they tell you it's just a couple hours. They can have that ready.
Perfect. Thank you.
And just simple embroidery like that. It's expensive cloth, but just being ascots, like for all 6, like 60 gold.
Oh, I'll just pay for it out of party funds.
That's a perfect use of
perfect.
party
It
funds.
is a party funded. Yeah.
Why
Great.
is that?
What?
First time we spent party funds in months.
Ever? Have we?
We
Tavern
spent it
stuff.
before, yeah, on like potions. And
I guess you're right. Yeah, I just.
Although we haven't been investing in our tavern, or I don't know what our tavern's up to these
It's
days.
one of those places where if it's too nice,
forgot.
it won't seem authentic.
Do we really need a roll for the 50 gold or whatever we get?
It's become a side gig.
Now we only have 542 gold pieces.
Well, I guess maybe we should roll for the tavern gold, but not now. Because I want. If we're done with our ascots, I do.
Yeah, everybody gets an ascot.
And what color are these? Pink? Is that what you
They're
said?
like opalescent pink, yeah.
I don't, as a person, know what that is. So
An opal has like a sort of rainbow sparkliness to it. It's
Oh, okay.
iridescent.
A shimmer.
So this is like a really pale pink with just like these crazy rainbow sparkles on them.
good. Okay.
Hi, Chandler.
It's
You're
like
not-
glitter.
Both
but it
Galatar
doesn't
and
infect
Chandler
you.
know 8 colors, and if you get beyond those 8 colors, I don't know. I learned today that my works color is persimmon, and I
Persimmon.
didn't know what that was. I had never heard of it.
Perhaps?
I just thought they were talking about a fruit for 15 minutes. I was very confused.
Are these
I'll admit, I don't
ascots
really-
all like the same size?
No, they're sized for you.
No, we have a maid call us up.
It just fits around your finger.
Oh, I can't wear it. Doesn't fit.
Oh, drat.
Okay, here's what I have. Here's what I have in my head in terms of what this looks like.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Once Alex
It's always
starts seeing images
dangerous.
again, you guys-
Oh, it's kind of pretty. I like
Oh,
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I'm imagining a little more paler pink.
It's more of a unicorn shimmer than
It's I just Google only had so many images for opalescent glittery pink.
Fair, fair.
I'll allow it because you were on a quick time constraint.
quick draw Google.
And this is big enough that we could like tie it around our arm as like an armband.
Okay, mine's definitely around my
neck,
gauntlet.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
gauntlet,
that's-
whatever.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear an ascot, but I'd like an armband. I think that'd be
Rita ties it in her hair.
cool.
I think we
pretty.
had another set of matching ascots before.
I wouldn't be
'Cause
surprised.
I think I tied it on my
Never had too
arm.
much-
Yeah.
But again, those are old and dirty at this point. We can just throw them away. Yeah.
Never live in the past, darling. It distracts from the now.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad saying.
It's literally from Edna Mode.
Anyways,
Ah.
what I would like to get a sort of orangest headband. Is that too garish?
Nothing
And-
is too garish.
Excellent. And I would like the upcharged 3D effect, the one that's more the 3D illusory effect. I want it to be eyeballs. I'm sure you're shocked by that choice. And I want them to come out of the headband a bit and just look around for a few seconds, and as they blink, just fade back into it.
Fortunately for you, I know some of the best holosmiths in Rata Sum. I've got a stack of emitters I could probably use to do something. Let me see, this is Glamour Weave, uncommon Glamour Weave is 350 gold.
I will hand him down 35 platinum.
And as a bonus action, you can just create this illusory effect that rises up from the cloth. Little eyes kind of pop out and look around and blink, go back in. Absolutely.
Excellent.
You know, I give you props, darling, for finding a theme and sticking with it.
Sometimes it's life deals you a card and you just kind of take it and run with it.
Does anyone else need to purchase anything from Fett's Finery?
No, Kala's gonna tie her ascot onto her backpack.
A good benign place to put it. It's not offensive to be like, oh, I'm not throwing it away, but I can put the backpack on. I'm excited. Thanks, Birdie.
So Fett mentioned the glitter blade that Bertie is wielding, that it came from an Asura artificer named Jax, Jaxx, who runs the shop Dynamic Defenses, which is also in the College of Dynamics Plaza. So a short jaunt over there, and you see there 4 or 5 Asura kind of eyeing these long display cases that have various odds and ends in them. It's mostly mundane weapons, available in most adventuring locations. Heavy crossbows, light crossbows, things like that. You do see that standing behind the counter is obviously a short Asura male, kind of spiky black hair. And as you guys come in, he raises an eyebrow. Well, hello there. Welcome to Dynamic Defenses. What can I do for you? Oh, hey. That's one of my glitter blades. It's a pleasure to see you again. I trust it's served you well.
Yeah, it has. It's it's gotten a little bit of use, but mainly, I'll be honest, it's kind of just like a fashion statement piece. But it's a great one at that.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, every now and then I listen to the advice that Fett gives me and comes out as a hit. So
Yeah.
no complaints here. It helps spread the brand.
Exactly.
What can I do you fine folks for today?
I was wondering if you had any sort of like utility items or things that would be useful either for sneaking or for travel or anything like that.
Well, we deal mostly in weapons and defensive armor here. It's a sort of a military outpost, so to speak. Putting the best theoretic work from the College of Dynamics into effect here. Got my trademark glow blades and glow sticks, and give you a little bit of dim illumination if you get into a dark corner. I can see, Kala, are you wearing your bracer of flying daggers?
Not attuned to it, but I have it on.
See, your friend here's already got one of my trademark pieces. It's
Yeah.
using the latest in multi-dimensional technology to store a seemingly endless supply of daggers you can pull out and throw. It's quite an achievement. It's that's some College of Synergetics work right there, taking the theoretics and practically applying them. And you, Mr. Glitterblade, sir, I see you're wearing one of our wrist rocket. It's an older model, but it's very functional.
Oh yeah. Now this one does get quite a bit of use. Yeah, pretty badass.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Not so much for sneaking. We do have a couple of new items on the shelves.
Oh, what do you have?
There's a new innovation based on some of the groundbreaking research of Pocky, a brilliant theoretical holomancer from the College of Dynamics. He reaches into a side drawer and you hear like a series of as you can hear him sort of grunting with effort as he's pulling something out, and he lifts a heavy chest up on top of the counter with a thud. Just one moment. And a couple of more. And he opens the top of the chest. And you can see it's kind of like a egg container carton, an egg carton. There are like all these little hollow indentations. And currently only one of them has anything in it. He pulls up what looks like a little sphere. It's about 3 inches in diameter. It's got sort of like a band of mithril metal around the center, and on one side, that band forms a circle with like a little crystal in the middle. The sphere itself is alternating colors. One hemisphere is red, one hemisphere is white, and he turns and says, "You press this button here, and you throw it at a creature, and it'll tangle it up in magical bands of hard light."
Oh, cool. How much is that?
Is it reusable or a one-time thing?
Oh, good
It's
question.
reusable. Now, if they break their way out of it, it's probably gonna break it in a way I can't repair. It's very expensive to make, very difficult. And this is cutting edge, so you're looking at a sort of prototype here. But as you can see, they're hot sellers. This is the last of my inventory. It's about 1,500 gold pieces.
How hard is it for a creature to break out? Like, is it super difficult? Just kind of a moderate difficulty?
And this baby right here, she'll take care of most of your average creatures, no problem. Now, if you throw it on something like, I don't know, a great big ogre, well, you never know. I mean,
Okay.
should be pretty effective. Pocky is a brilliant scientist.
So you're saying like someone us-sized? Probably real effective.
For the most part, yep. Who do you think bought
Yeah.
most of these? The peacekeepers have been running me dry.
This could be
1,500?
useful.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I was gonna say, I think the question is who wants it?
So what did you call these again? What's the name for them?
Well, since the scientist that created them is
Yeah.
Pocky, we've just been calling them Pocky-balls.
Right.
Oh, you son of a gun.
We knew it was coming.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna
That's
say
good
the
name.
name.
I know, because I knew and I wanted you to say it, because I was like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna say the words.
I'm gonna fucking make you put it on
Is
camera.
Pokeball spelled the way I think it
Look at his
is?
goddamn chest.
It's P-O-K-K-I.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
totally
most,
different.
most Asuran names are consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, and the feminine forms typically end in a vowel.
Wow, that's a
So-
great bit of world building. Cool.
Oh, I guess I should have doubled my X then.
It's not too late.
Kinda.
I thought
yeah.
it was double. That's how I've been
Oh.
spelling it.
We can just say
Just
it's that
'cause
way,
you
and
know.
I'll change it. I can
I've
fix
been
it.
spelling my name wrong for years.
Yeah, I don't care to
s-
change it.
So what else do you have besides this Pokeball? You said you had a couple of other new items?
Well, yep. My mentor Bronk once told me when besting the enemy, there's no such thing as overkill. So we've got one very special item. It's a bit on the hush hush, so if somebody asks, you didn't get it from me. It is licensed,
Okay.
technically legal, but the peacemakers like to keep tabs on this, and it's not exactly registered.
Hmm.
Takes that heavy chest and he pulls it off the counter. Hear him as he slides it back into place. See him kind of fiddle underneath the counter for a second, and you hear. There we go. And he lays what looks like a jewelry box.
Mhm.
He sort of opens it like an alligator mouth, and you see that there's just this beautiful necklace with a couple of thin gold chains, and at the end of each one is a orange teardrop-shaped jewel.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum firepower. That's what I'm all about here. These little beauties here are fire opals. They're
Mhm.
pretty volatile. The enchantments stored within them. We've got a nest of fire elementals just outside the city in Sorendra. I don't know if you've ever been out that way, but we capture some of their essence in these little balls here, and you can pluck one of these stones and chuck it at your enemies and just, whoa, Nelly, stand back. Don't want to be anywhere near that thing when it goes off. It's quite a big
Where's
boom.
Nelly?
That's pretty cool. How many uses does this thing have?
Nelly's the scientist who created them.
Oh,
We don't call them Nelly balls.
well,
No.
that makes sense. It'd
That's-
be offensive.
This is a pretty rare item. It comes with a little cost for getting it in past the peacemakers. This will be 1,200 gold for the
And
discerning customer.
how many uses do you get from this necklace?
This, let me see.
Also, did I buy the iron bands?
Yes, iron
Of-
bands
okay.
of binding.
Ooh, cool.
This is 8. There are 8 beads on this necklace of fireballs.
It's a necklace of fireballs, you said?
Yeah,
Oh,
I wanna look
8
it up real quick.
beads?
eight.
Oh,
That's a
damn.
lot.
I rolled
That is a lot.
5, so 5 plus 3.
Also, I
Yeah,
thought that
think
was
I'll take
9
that
was max.
for
1,200 gold.
check. Okay, I'll take that. Done.
Alrighty. And as you guys are all standing around the shop, he sees Keytree. Like, oh, it's a very nice breastplate you got there, young lady. You mind if I take a look at that?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Sort of leans over the counter and gives it a couple of knocks. Listens. Ding ding. Dum, dum. Now that is some pretty fine craftsmanship. Is that adamantine that I see?
Yeah.
You know, there was an innovative new alloy discovered recently by Mitzi up in the Advanced Metamystics lab. It's a patented formula, very difficult to infuse without ruining the existing armor, so it's very expensive. You have to have a knowledgeable craftsman. Fortunately, you have one standing before you, but it makes you extremely tough. We call it a Mitzium alloy infusion. It run you
Is
about...
that something you'd add to?
Yeah, so it would retain its own hardness, but it would give you a sort of magically enhanced benefit. It sort of channels enchantments well enough when you infuse it with this special alloy. It takes a little bit of time, but not too much. A couple of hours to kind of run it through the forge properly. It's pretty expensive. It's about 2,000 gold.
Oh, really?
Now, mechanically, what this does is it's the item Mitzium Armor, M-I-Z-Z-I-U-M. It's crit proof like your adamantine, but it also, when you take when you make a saving throw, strength or constitution, to take damage, it's kind of like the rogue's what's the ability where you take half from dex?
Evasion?
Evasion.
Uncanny dodge. No.
Evasion.
It's like evasion for strength and con saves. So if you succeed
Ooh.
on the save, you don't take any damage, but if you fail, you take half. Pretty sure that's what it is.
That's a neat item.
Yeah.
Yeah, auto
Absolutely.
save kind of thing.
It's super cool.
What's it called? Beyond?
Mitzium Armor, M-I-Z-Z-I-U-M. When you're subjected to a magical effect that you make a strength or saving throw to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed.
Oh yeah. I have more than enough in the bank to pay for this.
There is a Shunlai Banking Guild only steps away.
Well, then
I got
I
an
will-
ATM at the door there.
Ching-ching.
literally. But yeah, I'll pay for that. Elsewhere, is this the way it would be today?
I'm sorry, what? You
Yeah, I
kinda
don't
cut
really know
out.
whose you're coming through. Yeah.
If I get married.
You try.
And a stupid mic off. We're waiting on some other items that will be ready later today. Do you think this is something that be ready like today or tomorrow?
Couple of hours.
Right, let me just run down to the bank and I'll be back with your money.
Very well. It's a pleasure doing
We
business
have
with
the
all of you.
coin purse. Thank you, Puma. Brina's just
Wayne.
again picking her nose.
Let me ask this. I don't know what else you have, but I feel like this is the best place, best chance I have for it. I prefer armor that's rather light, that I can get kind of under my clothes. I don't want anything too heavy. But that's also not very protective, as I've discovered. Is there anything you have that is like lightweight armor, but provides a bit more protection, perhaps?
I personally don't have any light armor. We specialize more in the medium and heavy variety here. I tend to work with metals instead of leather,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, that's all right. If I die, there's blood on your hands, but
Such a
I wouldn't lose any sleep over it if I were you.
Like he raises an eyebrow, and then had me going there for a minute.
Did I? Yeah.
Do you know somewhere that my friend might be able to find that elsewhere around here? Like, would it be in a different college's area, or?
Not so much the light armor. A lot of the spellcasty types try to kind of keep their secrets secret, less on the open market. Those of us who make a profit selling to bukas, outsiders. Pardon my French. We tend to cater to the marshals.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I was just asking. No worries. I'll take care of myself.
Ryan, it's not showing up for me in the D&D Beyond. So
Hang on just a second. I will find it.
that's okay. Is this something that would require attunement though?
I don't think so. Oh, damn. Just close the magic items thing.
Mizium armor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it shouldn't require
It doesn't say it requires attunement
I can
on the
see it.
inventory thing.
All good.
I don't know why it's not showing up.
I should be able to add it for you.
How are you spelling it? Because that's always
Oh, our internet's running super slow again.
It could also be a character sheet setting because it's from Ravnica.
Alright.
Oh, see, I think that might be my problem because I'm not finding it either.
That's what it is. Yep. I can do this. Hang on. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Mizium armor breastplate. Add to equipment. There you go. You should have it. If Alexa's not seeing it, I can turn that on.
do you still take full damage with this if you fail?
I think you do. If it's like the shield items that prevent damage.
It sounds like you would still take.
Yeah, it doesn't say you don't, so it's not
Okay.
quite like evasion.
Right, it's
it's
all or
close.
nothing.
Mm.
But it's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
This
better.
Mizium
than nothing.
apparatus is super cool too.
Yes, it
You can
is.
cast spells you don't have prepared. That's so sweet.
Wait, that
was
sounds familiar.
originally gonna be Alexa's top.
Right,
10
I
item,
didn't realize
and
there
she
was an
went and
item.
fucking made one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you were gonna let me have that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Ah.
pop that in there. A little tweaking, so it's not exactly what's in there, but
Oh
yeah,
well.
I guess
That's
I'll
a
do
really
that now.
neat thing.
Eh.
Is your golem with us? Did it travel with
No.
us?
No.
Okay,
None of the stuff is like it's non-combat kind of deal.
gotcha.
And just to keep it easy, because there's a lot of us already.
Combat's tough with 6 people. So
I will ask him. Jax, I did hear that you said that was the old model on Birdie's arm. Is there a new model?
an older design. No, we don't have an
Oh.
updated model just now,
Hmm.
but it's a model that we stocked sometime in the past. I currently don't have any extra laying around.
I follow. I follow.
Do you have anything else deadly that you haven't shown us?
Just the typical swords, blades, bows, things of that nature. Instruments of finely crafted death, but nothing quite so strong. That necklace was kind of one of a kind. Difficult to get them past the peacekeepers in any sort of great numbers. They're willing to turn a blind eye every now and then for the sake of research.
You didn't by chance supply one of these to a group in Lion's Arch one time, did you? There was a group there that had a necklace very similar to this.
Well, I don't have any direct connection with the people in Lion's Arch, but they certainly could have come if I had one in stock at the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not sure. I mean, it's been a long time since I had one. I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. I don't remember all these specifics. Yeah, it was just a necklace like this.
Right. So easy enough to get Kitri's armor infused. The only other stores that you guys went to last time were Haka's musical emporium, or sorry, Haka's instrumental emporium. She just has enchanted instruments, an instrument of scribing, an instrument of illusions, and then a variety of mundane instruments, fine craftsmanship, run by an Asuran woman named Haka.
The real question is, does she have the information on the latest aggro concert?
You guys want to stop by and talk to her?
I bet she does.
Absolutely, if we can find out about an aggro concert.
You guys come in, and as you enter, you see that behind the counter, kind of plastered up on the wall behind her, is an aggro poster. But it's not just like an ink and parchment deal. It actually kind of moves a little bit in the frame. It's not quite Harry Potter level of reality, but there's a slight animation to the movement. And as you guys walk in, there's no one in there. She's just kind of sitting on a stool behind the counter, flipping through a ledger and writing things down. She looks up as she hears you all enter and just says, "Oh, hi, customers, how lovely. What can I do for you today?"
We're touring the city and walking around. We've been here before, actually. I think Birdie's bought some things here.
I do remember. You're a memorable group. It's wonderful to see you again.
Good to see you as always. Aggro. Nope. Haka. Right. Insight check.
Haka.
Is there even a moment of like recognition in her eyes?
Oh God.
Make a insight check.
29. Get out of town.
Maybe she's a bard too. You know, she's got high deception check.
Probably.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Although not all bards are deceivers.
You are if you keep leaving a double life, Hannah Montana.
Damn right.
All right.
Ooh, ooh. I think my table transition is fine.
People at work update shit at 8 o'clock at night.
Ooh.
Yeah, who's working at 8 o'clock in IT?
On a Friday.
They don't work. They just fucking troll all night long, posting videos and links to stupid shit. All right. Anyway.
Oh, is it
sorry.
one of those fucking Teams channel things?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. For a moment, there's a slight hesitation that you notice, Birdie, as you're keenly keeping an eye on her. Little hiccup.
Yeah, Birdie just gives her a wink.
She kind of gives you like her eyes narrow a bit. She looks over each of you carefully and says, "Well, no harm done. Can I help you? Do you need an instrument? I have a wide variety available for purchase."
Well, what are you packing? Anything exciting? I mean, honestly, and I'll pull out my new fancy lute and kind of pluck a few chords, and there's that like
Nice.
harmonious sound. I'm like, I'm
Wide.
pretty well stacked in instruments. So unless you've got something, seriously wet
Borderline
my whistle.
drooling on the counter. Leans forward in her seat a little bit, and just like motions towards herself.
I wouldn't play it if I were you. It might.
Oh no, I wouldn't dare. I just want to touch it.
I'll allow it. I'm gonna hold it out
Set
for
on
her.
the counter. She
Yeah.
just like runs her hand along the wood grain. See, like there's a little shiver, like a cold chill, like an intake of breath. Oh my, that is some fine craftsmanship.
Hmm.
Where on earth did you get that?
Traveling around. You
We
searching
killed some
enough
white
places.
mantle to
Yeah.
get it.
Okay. Well. Yeah. We killed some people and they had a nice loot. Yeah. Loot in both spellings, I
That
guess.
was really funny.
Oh, clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's very fortunate of you. Unfortunately, I certainly don't have anything that would top that in this selection. But if any of you were interested in an instrument that can create small visual illusions while you play, or describe magical texts on nearby surfaces, I can certainly oblige. And the instruments here are finely crafted.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
Imbued with magic.
You have like a little flute, like a little one, or like a
Well, sure.
just like for a beginner.
She kind of smiles a little bit. Yeah, I think I have just what you need. And
Okay.
She gets up and just says, give me just a second. She kind of goes back towards the wall. Just beside the poster, there's like a small archway, about 5.5 feet high, with a thick, like a heavy curtain of like pink and purple beads. She just parts that and walks into a little back room. You can hear her kind of rummaging around. Eventually she comes back out. And she lays down what looks like almost like a recorder, from like elementary school band.
Oh no, I'm familiar.
But it's interesting because it's carved with this sort of geometrical, almost like Mayan art of the early Asura people. But looking at it, you recognize like the head of it and some of the other components, like interwoven with these cubic, sort of hard-edged figures, are is like an image of the Norn spirit of owl. So it's like a mixture of Norn and Asuran culture. She kind of lays that down on the counter and she says, I went with some friends of mine to a aggro concert in Holbreck recently. I got to spend some time, as we kind of waited for a couple of days before and after, learning from the Scalds. They taught me a little bit, so I worked with some of their woodmakers to make a couple of things where we kind of fused the art styles. It's not magical, but it sounds really nice.
That is amazing. How did you like Holbrook? Pretty cold, right?
It was very cold. I spent a lot of time indoors.
That's
if
like
I'm
the
being
big thing.
honest, but it was beautiful. It's breathtaking.
Did they make you
view.
wear the jackalope?
The
I
what?
forgot.
Nothing. I'd rather not think about it, because I just remembered I'm going to have to put it on again.
Yeah, do you still have that?
It's deep deep in my closet.
Super cute.
It
No,
was
I-
a very good look
I-
for you.
I just purchased some cold weather gear here before I left.
Probably
Pretty,
wise.
pretty set. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call. I mean, if you are aggro or ever back in Holbrack, let us know. And also, if you know of any upcoming aggro shows, give us a call. Big fans.
Oh boy, who isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Definitely.
really popular around here.
Mm.
I don't think she's set to go back to Holbrack soon.
Hmm,
Probably around the fall, maybe for the Harvest Festival.
interesting.
Yeah. Ooh. Or maybe
Insight
she could play
check.
with the Great Hunt. That would be interesting.
Oh, fuck yeah. We always need like a big musical act to go with that. But I will take the recorder though. That's super neat.
Sure. That'll just be 5 gold pieces.
Oh, totally.
Hey, Haka, do you want to do like music lessons or anything?
Music lessons? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't teach
Or
myself.
do you know where I could find music lessons if I ever wanted to learn how to play the lyre?
Ooh. Well, there's a really excellent player in the Grove. The Solari folk are excellent with stringed instruments, especially the harp and the lyre and sort of handheld instruments like that. I
Perfect,
don't
thank
know
you.
any names off the top of my head, but I know that they do have a couple of competent instructors.
Well, we just came back all the way to Rata Sum, hoping that we would see aggro, but if you don't know where she is, I guess we'll just go back to Lion's Arch.
Yeah, Lila and Fix and I, we're waiting for the next show. When she grabs the poster and kind of like lifts the corner, looks on the back. She just says, "Yeah, with things being the way they are with the elder dragons and whatnot, there haven't been a lot of shows lately.
That makes
The
sense.
Holbrack trip was a pretty big deal. It looks like she's going to be in the Black Citadel at some point.
Ooh, talk about heavy metal.
Right? Wow. Brina,
Yeah.
that was.
Quick on the draw, baby! Sharp as a tack. Anyway.
Well, she's going to be opening.
That
for
was your
Metal
one for the
Legion.
year.
Wait, opening
Oh.
for two?
Yeah.
Metal
When?
Legion. It's a Char metal band. It's the
Oh,
Midsummer
cool.
Festival.
How far away is that?
Midsummer?
What? Yeah, what time of year is it now?
Right now, it's like the middle to
Guys.
late spring.
Mm.
Oh, so it's coming
You're
up.
looking at like a month and a half, maybe 2.
Are we going to
That's what-
Bonnaroo?
That would be a
We're
perfect
gonna go to a
post-sport trip.
festival?
Where's his
Yeah, let's go
don't,
slay a dragon and then go
Yeah.
to a concert.
don't worry, Brina. I'm sure
Oh,
we'll see
You
aggro
don't
again
want to take
someday.
Alexa to a
And
concert festival.
turn dead hands to the camera.
Brina's just winking really hard the whole time. Oh. Anyway,
Alright, making a note about that.
so we gotta fucking make our way to Coachella. Yeah, dog. Ooh, where we going?
Alright.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tempt us with that.
Oh no, it's canon. I'm making a note. There is actually a Metal Legion band in the game.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys finish up your business with Haka. The only other store you guys went to previously was the Buka's Backpack. It's sort of like a general adventuring gear type of setup. Most mundane adventuring gear, like if you needed caltrops or a grappling hook or a backpacker. Given supplies, like it's kind of geared towards non-Asuran.
Lucas.
Yeah, towards Bugas.
So they would have some rope if we needed some more rope. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
you
much
just
rope do
need,
I
like,
buy?
I mean, as much as you need, really.
Okay. Can I buy 100 feet of rope? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's like two bundles of rope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 100 feet of rope.
That'll just give us plenty of rope
Absolutely.
in case of emergency.
I mean, it
So,
doesn't hurt.
The Buka's backpack is run by a young female Asura named Sirra, Sirra, who kind of talks to non-Asura like they're cavemen, or like precocious toddlers.
Oh my.
This
She's
is
in
gonna
a
be
different
great.
section of town. Well, yeah, but as you guys step in there are like one or two other people in there. There's like a probably a human guy and like I don't even know, a couple of Asura who are just getting little things like fishing knives, bait, tinder boxes, mess kits for camping and stuff like that. And this Asuran woman is just sort of sitting behind the counter, also scribbling in what looks like a business ledger, having just concluded a transaction. As you walk in, she looks up. Oh, hi. Yeah, welcome. What can I do for you?
I need 100 feet of rope if you have that. And also, do you have anything that would be like useful for sneaking or anything like that? Like I read one time about this thing that like created a lot of smoke. I don't know if you would have anything, I don't know, useful or techie like that.
I don't have anything here for being stealthy. It's more of a survival. You know, I've got some pretty fancy tech here. Yeah. You know, the latest in Asura Magitech. You know, it might be a little over your head, but you can have a look if you like. She turns around and grabs a little case. It's got a couple of like leather bracers with little magical orbs in them.
Ooh.
She shows you one. She's like, so look, this, ooh, pictures. Yeah. It shows you whether it's daylight or nighttime outside. You know, it's for when bukas get lost underground.
This
That's
bitch.
always good. It's an orb of time. It just kind of lets you know the general time of day. Another one has
Useful.
Yeah,
what looks like
I
a
was like, actually.
compass.
Uh-huh.
And she's, and this is great too. You know, for when you guys get lost in the woods. You know, because that happens a lot, I hear. So
I
this
never
always
get
tells you
lost.
which way is north. Oh well,
Oh, you have a
that's
compass.
I
wonderful.
mean,
I'm so
maybe
proud of you.
humans get lost. I don't
Yeah.
know. Not Char.
Well, of course. Yeah. Got a couple little more things. Here, and she pulls out like a foot-long rod. It looks kind of like a broom handle with no broom. So see, this one's really special. You speak a magic word, and presto, and it extends out to be 10 feet long. It's like, oh, you see, super long. Now you can poke things that are much further away than they were before. There you go. And then you speak it again. Presto, and it shrinks down. Ooh, magic. Yeah.
What size is it when it's collapsed?
About a foot. It's a pole of collapsing.
Cool.
Victor wants it.
It's pretty handy.
Yeah, you should get
I
it.
mean, fuck, why not? What's the point?
It's cool.
We're getting
Yeah.
the compass.
Also,
and
how
the
much are those gauntlets? Yeah,
Yeah.
the gloves with the.
It's a wristband
bug tie.
or a leather
That's a
band.
watch.
100 gold each.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, same for the pole.
Are you getting both of them?
No. Do you want to? You seem like you really wanted the little, like the watch. Do you want? You can have the watch.
I mean, it was the watch, and what was the other one?
The
the
compass that.
An orb of time and an orb of direction.
I think I do want the direction one.
Okay, I'll take the orb of time then.
While this is going on and the shopkeeper's being openly condescending, Brina's sitting on a stool in the corner that's about 1 foot tall, trying to play hot cross buns on the corner. He thinks that we're stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good marketing technique.
Not stupid, honey. Just buka. It's okay. It's all right. Nothing to worry about. There's no judgment here.
You
Like, she's
really
always
gotta
got this,
hit
like,
that C,
happy
Brina.
expression.
Really gotta hit it. Yeah.
Did you have any other items that you wanted to show us while you insult us?
Oh, well, now there's no reason to be bitter. Not everybody can be an Azora, but it's okay. It's okay. So, I do have just this one thing. And she pulls out a little jewelry box. She pops it open. There's a little ring inside, set with some aquamarine, one of the latest inventions to come out of Synergetics Labs. Perfectly lovely. Lets you
Ooh,
swim
shiny.
really fast.
Oh.
Yeah, so no more problems when the puka gets wet. Nothing to worry about.
I guess
But
that
it
could be
doesn't
useful
keep you
for one
from
of us
getting
to
wet,
have.
right? Like you still get wet.
That's what
still a
happens when we go in the
problem.
water.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
I love
How
this.
much does
bit.
that cost?
That'll be 400 gold pieces.
Wrecked.
Could be
The
useful
ring
for
of
one of us to
swimming.
have.
It gives you a
Yeah.
swim speed of, I think, 40 feet.
Yeah.
I don't personally need it, but it'd be cool to have.
I've got the
Somebody
cloak
wants
of the manta ray if anybody's really keen on swimming underwater, but
Does that require attunement? The cloak of the
think-
manta ray?
But and does her item require attunement?
Per item, I do not think.
cloak of the manta ray does not.
It
Oh,
doesn't.
okay.
Okay.
No, okay, cool.
Ring of Swimming does not.
I'll just use it to go scuba
I think I
diving.
do want the ring of swimming because
Yeah,
I'm
it'd be good to have.
Yeah.
fucked underwater.
The
Oop.
Cloak of the Manta Ray does not require.
Okay. Because we are about to, I guess, like be near ore and all that water. Wouldn't hurt to have.
Yeah,
swim
I
speed
will pick up the
options.
ring of swimming.
Yeah, it's so shiny, Alexa. And Brina looks at the shopkeep with like big doe eyes. At this point, she's playing into it,
Just like,
albeit.
yeah, it's very, very shiny. Very pretty.
And it fits just right.
Honestly, I
So,
fuck
yeah.
with women.
I guess I give her 100 gold and 40 platinum.
Okay.
So that should cover
She
everything.
takes that payment. She, as you guys kind of finish your transaction, she's setting things out on the counter, and she looks at you, Galatar, and just says, "If you're looking for something that makes smoke, you might try one of the alchemists. Those guys are generally more into creating strange effects like that. Brim's Alchemicals is just across the plaza here."
Oh, thank you so much. I will check that out. Oh, by the way, when we were walking up, you were writing in that ledger, and I noticed you did the math a little wrong. It should have been like 5 more, but you know, that's just it happens all the time, I'm sure, even to the best shopkeepers. No worries.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did see that. I'm
I
sure
did,
your
yeah. No
calculations
problem.
are exactly what you think they are, honey. It's okay.
Oh no,
It's
you're a
just
bad
that way.
shopkeeper. Thank you. That's so kind.
As we're walking out and leaving, Kitri's gonna turn around and with her new rod just whisper the word and maybe like poke her on the shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, she
Just, like
starts
turn around, like poke her on the back.
writing down the details in her ledger, and you just like poke her in the shoulder. She's, "Oh, look at you! You did perfect on the first try." Yeah.
Just to see if it would.
Just goes back to writing.
I kind of fuck with her. Good on
So
her.
actually, as we do get outside and I look down at my hands, oh shit, I'm wearing gloves. I can't put on a fucking ring.
Can't you just put it on underneath?
Put it on
Yeah,
under the
just put it
glove.
on.
Is that how it works? Will it?
Yeah.
Wow,
I
that
don't
woman
know.
just talked down to us for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, she's a
Oh, what are you gonna do? Fucking return it? Are you kidding me?
Fucking returning? I was just saying, I don't. Can I? Wait. I guess that's a question. For the, okay.
You can wear it under a gauntlet.
All right.
I
If
feel
we'll
like-
allow
It's-
that.
It's not like a ring with like a stone setting. The aquamarine is like built into the band. It's like inlay.
Gotcha.
Cool. So can we go to the alchemist shop?
Just make your way to Brim's Alchemicals, Brimm. And as you enter the store, there's like this happy sort of bubbling sound kind of carries throughout. And you see behind the shopkeep, there's a pretty wide counter with a mirror, kind of like you'd see in some bars. So you sort of see yourself approaching but all across it, there's just a series of like alembics and calcinators and all these different alchemical apparatus that are bubbling and smoking and steaming, and they are currently looking through two little spectacles with like 2 or 3 different sets of lenses in various configurations as they pour liquid from one beaker into another. As they see you, they look up, and it's very much that sort of like strange look with the glasses down on the end of their nose, and you see this kind of smooth-skinned Asura. The big sort of floppy ears are kind of slanted backwards, and they have this just poof of kind of floppy, spiky blue hair with a couple of like trailing bits on the temples. Think like David Bowie in The Labyrinth, but blue instead of blonde.
Really?
And sort of like looking through the spectacles at you, and then they take them off, and you can see now that they have like some thick eyeshadow, very similar to the Goblin King. Their robes are just a mishmash of like purple and blues, and they have what look like bits of alchemical formula just sort of embroidered on them. And as you enter, they put down the beaker. Well, hello. Welcome to Brim's Alchemicals. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you had any sort of like alchemical compound that would create smoke or something like that that could like obscure an area.
Skeleton, do you have smoke grenades?
Yeah, I just wanted something that like continuously, do it. If I like set it up at the edge of the room, it might like continuously expand or something.
Kind of looks around for a minute. He turns and goes up and gets on a ladder, and he gets about halfway up like a 8-9 foot shelf, grabs onto the edge and pushes, kind of slides down another 4 feet. So you reach up onto a high shelf and pull down a beaker, grabs onto the edge and slides down to the floor in a once kind of fluid motion, waddles his way back over and kind of places it up on the counter, and you see him like hop up on a stool behind it so that he's now eye level with you all. And then just say, yes, I believe this is what you're looking for. If you remove the cork, it will produce a pretty voluminous amount of smoke, and it will keep doing so until you speak the command word and cork it once again.
That is exactly what I was looking for. That's perfect. How much do I owe you?
That would be $350 or gold.
Sure. Yeah, let me just give you 350 gold.
I think that's the first time you've ever done that.
The old Asuran
To be
dollar.
rich in a fake world.
Yeah, I hear the Asuran currency changes have been really good given all the tumultuous nature of the world. Price fluctuations are kind of crazy right now.
Krina just sighs and says,
We
"The
used the
supply
Asuran
chain."
dollar before the destroyers destroyed our society underground. Now we've gone to the gold standard. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That was it for me.
Do you sell any do you sell any poisons?
Poisons?
Yeah.
I have items that, if ingested, yes, would certainly have a detrimental effect, although I tend to specialize in more beneficent mixtures. Is there something of particular import you're looking for? A specific effect you'd like to replicate?
I just didn't know if Azure would have something different.
Yeah, not different from like the standard poisons.
Okay.
Although if you were looking for something specific on that, I could roll to see if they maybe have it in stock.
No, I just didn't know if he would have something weird.
Not particularly.
Okay.
No. I have a variety of mixtures that can cure poisons and
Mm.
various diseases. I have potions that can make you difficult to pin down. If either of you, they point to Kala and Brina, if either of you would like to become smaller, I could certainly oblige. Believe it or not, that is a request I get often from
Really?
non-Asurans. Yes. Well, the
Yeah,
world
why
looks
anybody would
very
want
different to
that?
people from this height.
Hmm.
Oh,
Is
don't
it
knock it
like-
till you try it.
Just like forever, or just like a little bit?
Oh no, these mixtures are not that potent. It's only for about an hour or so.
Does it make you an Azura, or it just makes you but smaller?
Well, I have potions that can do the former and
Oh.
potions that could do the latter.
Can I have
Oh.
something that makes me look
I mean-
little?
If we needed to be sneaky later,
Yeah, that's a good call, Color.
But wait, like they fully turn into Azura?
Like they just make you look like one for like an hour.
Thereabouts, yes. Check
Well,
the
shit
level.
balls, guys.
How much are those? How many of those you got? Also, Paige, I really like your glasses.
Thanks, they're not real.
They're very stylish.
I know our viewers will be heartbroken to learn that they've been blue light glasses all along, but they're
Breaking our
very
viewers' hearts.
stylish. That's why I wear them. Thanks, Chandler. I appreciate
Here for you.
it. I'll get some real ones eventually once the glaucoma sets in.
You're gonna wait until you have glaucoma to get glasses?
I haven't had my eyes checked since the third grade.
Do glasses fix glaucoma? Because I'm pretty sure they don't actually.
Yes, I agree.
Do not wait for glaucoma.
I'm pretty sure
phase.
glaucoma means you're like going blind.
It does.
Don't they put lasers in your eyes for that now?
They require
Yeah.
like a surgery, yeah.
I have not been role playing this entire time. I actually just don't know things. It's called method
Also,
acting.
in real life, you should go see an optometrist.
No, for sure. I don't really know what's going on. I think I can see fine.
I mean, I haven't been to my optometrist in like 5 years. It's cool.
I've only ever seen through my eyeballs, so I can't imagine that anything's
Right, like
The
good.
first time I went to the optometrist, he came out. This was the first time I'd ever been to an eye doctor, and he did some scan. He comes out and he goes, "Listen, I don't want you to freak out. I don't think you have glaucoma, but there's one test that's like a little weird, and so we're gonna run a different one." And I was like, "Okay."
So this is it.
I hate that one where they blow that air in your
Yeah.
eye.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. Anyways,
I
back
had
to
my
the
first
show.
pair of glasses in kindergarten. It's just like
Oh,
a
those
tiny
little
little
kid
baby
glasses.
Mary with like
I should have gotten mine earlier, but I got mine in 5th grade.
I also got mine in 5th grade.
Right, well,
took
I
mine
still
off
see
and didn't wear
briefs,
them
so-
for all of like 2nd and 3rd grade because I was like, I don't want to look like this. I don't want to be a nerd. And then I
And
still
now we
couldn't
embrace
see.
it.
And now
Right.
here
And now
you
we
are
embrace
in your
it.
early 20s playing D&D on a Friday night.
Friday
Honestly, though,
night.
this is a pretty banging Friday night.
This is
Uh-huh,
true.
yeah.
You could have been a nerd, Mary. Happens to be. Anyways,
So Brim just says, yes, I have potions of diminution that can shrink you to about the size of an Asura, or shrink one of us even smaller still.
Mm.
And I do have a sort of polymorphic mixture that can transform you into an Asura if the need should arise.
does it
Think
just make
it
you look
will.
like an Azura, or will it make you smarter?
mhm.
No.
In fact, its effect would on creatures such as yourselves, the effects would be very similar to a potion of diminution.
Mm.
Your strength, obviously being in such a small frame, would be reduced. Your effectiveness in fisticuffs would also necessarily be reduced. Aside from that, the change is mostly cosmetic.
How many of these do you have?
I have a couple, but I could always brew a few more if you need them. Take me a couple of hours to get the mixture and the ratio correct. Probably need to volunteer a couple of folks for parts. It needs to be a reagent from an Asura, a template, if you will, someone you would look like. But easy enough to find. Plenty of.
Does
folks out
someone
there
want to
that-
be my twin?
Alex, I'll be your twin.
I could donate a part then.
Certainly possible.
How much are they?
These would be 500 gold apiece. It's a fairly complex enchantment.
It's rough.
Do we need these?
Well,
Or...
Bertie can do his magic to make us look
Wait,
a certain if we need to.
seeming?
Are
can
the
do seeming.
potions of are the potions of
Is it
dimming?
will you cast a spell or? I don't want you to burn a spell on that.
It's not a spell.
I didn't think so.
Dimency. The little ones, the little boy potions, are those 500 too?
They
Or
are.
these? Fuck. Oh, sorry.
Do you have any love potions?
Ooh.
would
Is that
be
a thing?
unethical.
Is that for real?
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't use it unethically.
Just one thing. But no, I don't brew those particular types of mixtures here.
Hmm.
Do you need one, Birdie?
Could be fun.
Mhm.
What about do you have you said
Seeming can make a creature 1 foot shorter or taller.
Oh shit! I
Wait,
didn't think it was a
this-
full.
yeah, it's essentially disguise self
I
on
will.
everyone.
So we still
Um,
wouldn't be
I
able to
have
see quite.
access. I do have access to reduce and enlarge, but it is more detrimental, and you can only go down one
Yeah,
size.
that's
Like
the
for a
dim-
large creature, they'd be a medium.
I mean,
That would work though.
are we gonna use
But-
these guys? Do we
We
know?
could talk to Zoja and then come back.
Yeah, that
That
makes
might
be a
be
good
a
idea.
smarter. Hey, how about we
just
do
show
that
up with a
before we
bunch of,
start
like,
buying shit
shopping
like that?
bags.
We got
Um,
the plan.
The other thing I'll ask, does he have you mentioned he has something that's like makes you more difficult to grab. Does he have like an oil of slipperiness or something?
Slipper.
It does.
How much is that gonna run me?
250 gold.
Sold.
Slides that across the counter.
Okay, before. Well, go ahead, Alexa.
I was saying, how about anything that makes you fly or really fast?
Well, I don't have anything that can change your method of locomotion. If you're looking for something defensive, I do have one of these, but it's rather expensive. And he pulls out like a pretty sizable vial, and as you kind of look at the inside, it looks like mercury almost. But it's almost sludge-like. It's not quite as fluid. It's more viscous. It just says this is about 1,500 gold pieces. It's quite rare. The ingredients are very difficult to come by, but it can briefly make you very resilient to physical harm.
I feel like we need it. The question is just, I don't know, Galatar?
Sold.
How much is it?
1,500 gold.
Got it.
I don't know that we need that. I can do
I
some
have
other
already
things to
purchased
help.
it. It is
Birdie
in my
just- yeah.
hands.
Oh,
Well, I guess yeah.
wow. That was quick.
Out of your control now.
Yeah, sure.
You all forget I'm a gambler. This is like 1 week's earnings for me.
All right, your new.
Is that
store
what you do all week,
represents-
Birdie?
Yeah. There are people you would not believe how easy it is to win money at the poker table if you can lie well.
So they slide that to you. They take your 1,500. It's I don't like the name of it because it's misleading. For a minute after you drink it, you have resistance to all damage. It's a potion of invulnerability.
All right. Thank you.
Sort of like the emergency oh shit button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a
Brady's
great-
got a couple of those, and I'm a big fan of them actually. So no,
I haven't seen the Cape of the Dandy in a minute.
Yeah,
because
you
I'm
haven't used that in a
actually
while.
a very big boy and have a lot of hit points now.
It
You're
didn't,
right.
it didn't come
I'm
out at the
sorry.
tournament at all.
Yeah, you're a very big, strong boy.
That's
Well,
right.
was that your most expensive potion, or is there Any higher shelf to reach to?
Oh, he just says, like, he thinks hard for a minute. He's like, well, no, that would be the most expensive option that I have.
Hmm.
I do have several other potions around. Is there a specific mixture you're looking for? I have some alchemist's fire if you're needing to do some combat. I have plenty of acids and oils.
How about any greater healing potions?
Hmm.
Healing. I do have some ointment for curing ailments. Let me see. I do have. Yes. And you see, like, it goes down under the counter, like underneath a couple of other boxes, and pulls out a dusty box. Blows it off. It's thick. Thick with a cloud of dust, and he opens it up, and there's two old-looking bottles, kind of color-worn with time. Shakes them, looks through the light, kind of like eyeballs the mixture. Yes, these should still be good. 2 greater healing potions.
I'll take the both of them.
Very well.
I think that's 300, right?
Hang on. I have cheaper custom prices, I think, for myself in our games. Crafting potion, greater value is 250 each.
Oh, shit, okay. Then, yeah, so 50 platinum.
Thank you very much.
And do you have any potions or anything that would be able to make somebody invisible for about an hour or anything like that?
Unfortunately, I do not have any of those left. Several of the peacemakers were on their way out into the Brisbane wilds, going to scout for bandit activity and tracking down rogue members of the Inquest, if I recall. Bought out my stock, unfortunately.
That's okay. We've run into that several times today.
Times being what they are.
I have more of a theoretical question for you. If you were to take one of the tiny potions and then you're small, and then you took another tiny potion, would you become smaller?
Oh, I wouldn't recommend doing that. When you
What
take
would-
more than one potion at a time, you risk them interacting in unexpected ways in your gut. You never know. You could explode. You could be pulled into another dimension. It would be impossible to tell. You could be stuck being small permanently. You never can tell.
What if other magic made you small and then you drank the potion?
No fucking cooking with gas.
I don't know. I've never experimented with that myself. The miscibility of the alchemical process is not something to be toyed lightly with. It's a very precise art. If you're bold, choice would be yours, but I couldn't say for certain.
Kala and I will get to work on that.
I look forward to reading the published results of your study.
Definitely. We'll send you some. Don't worry about it.
We'll let you know how it goes.
For sure.
See them just kind of like, okay.
That's gonna be my next downtime activity.
Chug 2 potions at once.
Yeah, we gotta do some math on like what's the smallest we can physically get Brina. Like if we get all the magic users.
Wait, can both Kitri and I cast Shrink on her?
If I take an enlarged potion
Yeah.
Two
and
spells of the same type don't stack.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Ryan, let him play, right?
What about potions and spells of the same type? Would that work?
Edition rules. 5th edition rules. No, two potions of the same size. We're rolling on the potion miscibility table.
There's a potion miscibility table? This is the greatest thing I've ever heard of.
Oh yeah, no. If you drink 2 potions at once, bad shit can happen.
All right. I'm
Or nothing at all happens. You're fine. Roll the
Okay, that's
dice.
awesome. What if Brina becomes permanently tiny and is just a very tiny person with
Oh, that would
23
be
strength?
really
That'd
fucking
be
bad.
A very
amazing.
strong
or
little
she
gal.
could explode.
Oh,
Like,
well.
yeah.
It's-
Like,
You never know.
what's the percentage on it for real?
She
Maybe
died.
wait till we can cast True Resurrection or something.
She
Can we-
died as she lived. A fucking idiot.
I mean,
That's
I guess,
okay.
yeah, we can't. You need true resurrection for that. That's right.
We got.
We won't
We'll
have a
get you
body.
later. Yeah, wait till we're 9th level. We'll take care of it. We'll finally do it.
I mean, I guess reincarnation would work, but
Yeah, that's true.
she just wouldn't come back as the same.
I just need a pile of
You
dust.
could bring her back as an Asura, and then we could just make her small again and be perfect.
Not even in death will my mission be swayed. All right, I'll stop asking questions now. But I'm glad to know there's a table for this. You take an enlarged potion and a small potion at the same time. You stay the exact same height.
And then you just explode.
Just do it for the rush.
You just do to fucking feel something, man.
I just want to do it feel alive, man.
It'd be a wild thing to do in the audience at the
It's like
concert.
magical Russian roulette is like you have like a table full of bottles and some of them are potions and some of them are just water and you got to take two at the same time and you don't know if you just stick a potion in water or two waters or two potions.
That should absolutely be our next downtime game.
It can poison you. You can explode. You could just waste both potions. There's lots of stuff that could happen.
This is as like addictive as getting to draw from the deck of many things. Like I just really want to do this now.
No.
This will be our independent research for future.
Very enticing. Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, I won't ask any more questions.
So, you guys make your way out of Brim's Alchemicals, and I presume make your way to the Snaf Memorial Lab, where Zoja does her work. So, you find your way there. I have my note somewhere else. Yes, I do. That to where I need to be. So yes, you go up to the top level of town, back to the Creator's Commons, and you find it's a generally triangular shape that's been kind of cut into the top of this cube. And at one of the extremes is a set of Asura Gate portals. One of them for the Snaf Memorial Lab. The lab itself is not part of the cube city. It is on a nearby hillside. But the gate guard allows you entry. You are expected. And you find yourself very soon walking among a gorgeous sort of open air garden type area with a variety. Kitri, Galatar, and Alexa, you instantly recognize a lot of these cultured plants are alchemical ingredients. And standing in front of you is a strangely geometric building, lots of triangles and hexagons and strange shapes. The hum of magical energy sort of emanating out from it. And you can see it's a fairly large complex. And it's built in a sort of Roman fashion where the inside is a courtyard open to the sky. And you can see like there are scorch marks and signs of obvious spell and magical experimentation. And there are dozens of Asura sort of wandering hither and yon, in and out of little side buildings where the glow and the buzzing and the beeping of this arcane equipment can be seen and heard. Several of you have been to Zoja's private lab before. You make your way there. You get about 25-30 feet from the door. And the door itself is open. The doors are not sealed at this time. And you all hear, "Gal, is that you?" Turn, and there is a young, dark-skinned, dark-haired man with piercing blue eyes. And as you turn, Been a long time. How you doing, brother? And he raises his hand, and you see that he has a prosthetic arm on one side.
Oh my gosh.
Galatar, you recognize Salam, your
Yeah.
brother.
Papa told me you'd come here. I forgot all about that. How have things been?
They've been good. Not as eventful as your life, from what Dad says, but yeah, I mean, check it out. And he kind of like waves his arm in front of you, and it's fully articulated. You can see this beautifully crafted prosthetic. There are, like, at the hinges of the joints for the elbow, the wrist, and each of the knuckles, what is otherwise a beautifully crafted wood exterior is sort of glowing from within, and at the joints you can see little bits of metal and wire, and occasionally, like at the knuckles, bits of crystal that are glowing with energy and etched with arcane sigils. But the bulk of it are these beautifully interwoven, like, plates of dark wood. And just around the edges there's like a trim of like mithril filigree with more arcane sigils kind of inlaid into this wooden frame. It says, yeah, I got some work with the shit, what is it called? The Magic Mechanics crew here in the Snaf Memorial Lab. What are you guys doing here?
We're here to meet with Zoja. Zoja? Zoja. Yeah.
You guys know Zoja?
Yeah.
We've met a few times. We've worked with her on like pact business.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Burkhardt said you guys have been pretty heavy into that scene. She's kind of a rock star around here, so it's pretty impressive. I've talked to her a couple of times. She's never really had a reason to come work with us, but she's always got her own side projects. That's cool.
Yeah, have you been doing well? I mean, it looks like everything's going great for you. Have you enjoyed being here? Is this going well?
Yeah, these guys are, I mean, there's something else. He kind of looks down at Alexa. Yeah, Asuran Mines, man, you guys really know your stuff. I guess this is actually kind of your doing, actually. And he looks down at his hand. Zoja came back from something in Lion's Arch a couple of months ago and brought back some schematics and some parts from something she called a nimble right. It's more dexterous than their usual constructs. So we've been taking the spare parts and
Yeah, I think we blew that up.
We did.
Well, that would explain why there was so little left. But yeah, we've kind of repurposed it. You can see here, and he kind of like shows you the back of his forearm, and there's almost like wood burning art mixed in, and it's very beautiful. It's not just functional. There's like an art to it, and it has more of these like Maya Aztec type glyphs, like pictograms almost. Like, yeah, there's an artist in the lower city who's been kind of teaching me about Asuran art. I thought I'd bring a little bit more artistic flair to the tech, so I used some of their pictograms, and this is like the story of our family, kinda. It's sort of like the Goodkin crest, so to speak, in old Asuran. I think it's kind of neat.
Oh yeah, Galatar definitely like grabs his hand to fill out and like starts looking it over and like
He's
tracing
like
the sigils.
Points out, like, this is Braylon. You see here, like, our pictograms are twins, and there's you.
That's so cool. Have you talked to Braylon lately?
Yeah, actually, she came through a couple of weeks ago, I guess. I kind of lose track of time when I get my nose in the work. She said she's starting an apprenticeship soon. Really wants to kind of dig into being a writer, I guess. She was pretty excited about it, but kind of shy on the details. She said it could be her big break, though, so, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, we got to do something like together. It's been quite a while.
Well, it's that time in our lives. You've always been a little older, but where she and I are just kind of fledging the nest, so to speak, and kind of get out here making our way. I know Burkhardt's thrilled. He's having a lot of fun at house, free time. Gets to enjoy cooking.
Now that Roland's going to be retiring, I think he's quite happy with the situation.
Yeah, I got a letter not too long ago. That was pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah,
Really fucking crazy.
was not good for a minute. Quite concerned about Papa, but it worked out. He's almost completely fine. He's rather tough.
Always has been, yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Galatar, are you
I'm
going
so
to
lost.
properly introduce
Yeah.
us? Who the
I'm
fuck
sorry,
is
guys.
this?
I completely forgot you were there. Oh my gosh. Salom, this is the Trollskull Six. This is Alexa and Brina, Kala, Kitri, and Bertie.
Pleasure to meet you.
And this is my brother, Salom.
Salom. Salom. Okay, thanks.
Bertie the
He's gonna
Bard, that's your
Noticeably
service.
Lean over
younger.
to Keetri's gonna lean over to Alexa and be like, "How many fucking siblings does Kalatar have? I feel like we meet a new one every time."
I think he has 8?
It's like cheaper by the dozen over there.
7?
I've
Brina's
lost
gonna
count.
lean over to Birdie and say, Galatar's
midgets.
brother's stupid hot, man.
Yeah. Control yourself. Like literally every person we see, it's like, are you
Yeah.
like, honest to God, get a grip.
Yeah, you're openly dating the Abbess now, right?
You
Okay.
can't hear me. Shut up.
Brina, you
I
don't
can
really
hear it.
whisper. You're very loud.
Hello, Salom. Welcome to the Trollskull Six. While I am in a loving relationship, it is a pleasure to meet you.
I love watching a train wreck.
Likewise.
It
I get
is
unhinged.
sometimes delightful.
Actually part of the Magic Mechanics crew here, at least for the time being, but yeah, it's nice to meet you too. I've heard all about you guys.
Are there weapons in your hand? Like, you know,
Not yet.
oh,
No, I'm not really a fighter.
it seems like, you know, it'd be kind of cool if it shot like rockets or something.
Oh,
I don't
no,
know.
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The Asura kind of insist on that sort of thing. They're big into explosions, but you know, I mean, like I try to keep in shape, train the body, train the mind, but you know, not so much on violence. Me and Bray, my twin, we're we're not real big into that. We're more lovers than fighters. Well, anyway,
It's
I
so
don't mean to keep you from
crazy.
your business, but I saw
no,
you walk
not
through the
at all.
courtyard. It's crazy.
No, I'm really glad I got to see you. We'll be back this way, I think, probably in a few days. We've got to go deal with some business with the Inquest. Is that what they're called?
Yeah,
Those-
yeah, the Asuran Inquisition.
Yeah, the
Inquest
Inquisition.
for short. They're a bunch of mean bastards, really.
Yeah, we're going to go try
Yeah.
to eliminate the rest of them. So hopefully that goes well.
It's a tall order.
I
I'm
don't know.
assuming the Arcane Council's approved that.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, I think they're the ones asking us to do it.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't
that's probably
really
what you're
always get
here
the
to figure out, I
details.
guess. So
Yeah, we're not really
Yeah,
paperwork
but,
people.
Sometimes people just kind of tell us that things need done, and then sometimes we don't really mean to do them, and then we just end up in a lair or a
Right.
strong, you might say, and then
Shiny, like
We go with
magical
the flow.
circles on the ground are really attractive.
Yeah, winks as
Some
good as an
people,
nod to a blind
yeah.
man, you know.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Anyway, I've got a little place in Sarandra. If you guys are coming back to this way, sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm not. You know, the crew tends to go out and do field work, testing, things like that. But if I'm around, drop me a line. Grab dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. When we come back, I'm sure you and Bertie could have some nice conversations about fashion. I think he might love it just as much as you do.
What is he wearing? Let me ask that. This is gonna depend. Like,
Is he into fashion, Galtar? I didn't have that in a note.
He is. It was in the note that I sent you about him.
Okay.
He is a passionate guy who
remember
loves
that.
fashion almost as much as he loves to argue.
Passion for
this
fashion.
guy is
This
the
man
fashion
has
guy.
not
I had to double check my notes because it had
I
been
was
so
gonna
long
say,
since I said
Bertie,
that to
like-
you.
I do have it. Loves fashion. One arm. Yep.
Okay.
Loves fashion, one arm.
Loves fashion,
Loves
one
fashion,
arm.
one arm. Personality traits. Loves fashion,
There is a
one
longer
arm.
couple of sentences after that, but that's the brief summary.
I
that
mean, what
needed.
more do you need to know?
Yeah, I would say it's stylish, but in a way that you're like you don't see this in Lion's Arch. You know, it's like a dark blue tunic, but the collar is sort of like a squared V with red and yellow striping. And same as like at the edges of the sleeves, there's like a Azteca type of stepped pyramid pattern all around the edges, almost like a like a Navajo Indian deal, but with like bright primary colors.
Birthday, would you like to revise your earlier statement?
It's a bit tame, but you know, well dressed is well dressed. Yeah.
Kind of gives you a nod. Just, well, you know, I'm working.
So am I. And Bertie's got like it's like I imagine like a full like blue sequin, like it's like glitter like toe to tip.
That's Noah.
Yeah, he's got
Touche. I don't want to get grease all over my duds, but point taken.
I'll have to teach you a little bit of magic. So if you get grease on your clothes, you can just kind of get it off.
Well, you know, we've got people in town who do that here. I could probably pick up something from
Oh, right.
that bizarre little munchkin down in the middle city.
yes, a Asuran
Bizarre
dry
little
cleaners where
munchkin.
they just press to distribute your clothes.
Anyway, I won't
Yeah.
keep you, but it's good to see you.
Yeah, no, it was so good. Thank you so much for yelling at. You know, I'm not very good at noticing things. I probably would not have noticed. But it was really good getting to see you in Galatar. I kind of give him like a big hug.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you. You really seem to be making your own here. I mean, I was so excited when Beckard and Roland told me, and it seems like you're thriving.
You know, they don't take a lot of humans in here. They're not a fan of bukas up in their lab space, but I made a good impression. So
Yeah, I know you kind of were searching for what to do with your life, so it's cool that you found something you enjoy so much.
yeah, I'm hoping I can get good enough to bring something like this back to Divinity's Reach. Maybe set up my own shop.
Oh, that would be incredible.
A lot of folks hurt, you know, in the Centaur raids could use
Yeah.
this kind of tech. So
And I imagine there will be a
yeah.
lot more, especially with the upcoming conflict.
Just do me a favor. Whatever you guys are about to do, don't come back with any missing limbs, okay?
I hope we won't, but I cannot actually promise in some tough situations. But
Get,
they're
like-
all very powerful, so I tend to be fine.
If you get like a sick ass prosthetic like you have, it won't be super upsetting. Also, Galatar is super powerful too. Galatar is like so good at magic, and he makes a lot of dinner, and Brandon just listens. Trying to brag on him, but doesn't know how.
Well, he gets the cooking skill from Burkhardt, so you know it's gonna be good.
Well, because every time Papa went out on business, you all complained if you didn't get good food. Somebody had to learn to cook
We
for
were
you.
spoiled. What can I
Yeah.
say?
Burkhardt's an excellent chef.
His sausage is great.
Oh yeah, definitely missed that out here. They're more into rubs.
Oh,
Not bad.
They're
Not
pretty good if you
sausage.
put the right spice on them.
Yeah, I need to get me some char spice.
well, get yourself one of these little like spice pouches that I have. I got one here before, and you can just like pull any spice you want out of it.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
That would make it a little more bearable. I've almost gone vegan out here. Lots of
Oh.
spiked fruits,
Yeah.
greens. Yeah.
They say a vegan diet's very good for your digestion.
Well,
Not
it's
for
good for your
Char.
skin too. You know, he
Well,
kind of like looks
sure.
at his good arm.
No, you're looking great. Your complexion's fantastic.
Thanks.
Of course.
You guys take care of my brother.
Yeah, if we don't have a place to sleep. So
Oh, that's true.
Actually, a super good point. Yeah. And we left the tents
Yeah.
back. It's fine.
Priorities.
Mm.
Have a good one. He
I
turns
saw
around.
them.
Yeah, kind of heads to his lab.
Oh, that was so lovely. I'm so glad I got to see him.
Bertha, you're shitting me if you don't think he's hot. Open your eyes.
He was a little timid, I thought, you know? I don't know. I bet that arm does a lot, though.
I don't want to play D&D anymore.
I bet that arm does everything.
He said there weren't any weapons in it, so that
But
doesn't
you
seem like it does
didn't
much.
Ask him about
really.
attachments.
Carla, think about it.
Mm.
Thinking about it? All right.
Mary
Now we're on the
gave
same
scandalized
page.
face.
Nope.
Okay, so this is a great place for a bio break.
Let's do it.
You
We
get
will
some
pause
food.
the recording. We'll take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
That's super fun.
is-
I completely forgot about it.
Alright. So. Finally enter Zoja's personal laboratory. You see there are a couple of Asura kind of in the background, maybe 40, 50 feet away at big banks of monitors with knobs and crystals and alchemical apparatus and things just sort of scattered about. Zoja herself is kind of standing on a little step stool leaning across a fairly wide table for an Asura. And on the other side, standing opposite her, is the familiar figure of Quippa. As you all enter, they both stop and turn, and you can see Zoja's face is more than a little irritated. Quippa has just this sort of snide smirk. Zoja waves you over. As you get closer, she says, well, I appreciate your coming. I believe you've all met Quippa. The other Asura turns to look at each of you and just sort of smiles. Yes, yes. Ran into each other in LA, didn't we? Tell me, how is that poor man?
I think he's doing quite well, and he'd probably be able to properly welcome you next time.
Oh, he was no slouch the first time. I just outsmarted him, that's all. We Asura are cunning like that.
I just keep my mouth shut and look at Kala.
Zoja kind of cuts her off and says, we are not here to talk about the past. You are going to pay your debt to society one way or the other. We are here to talk about the future. I appreciate you all coming. As I mentioned previously, we have discovered the location of the Inquest's hidden stronghold. Thanks, in no small part, to Quippa here. The Arcane Council has decided that the evidence collected at the Thaumanova facility is conclusive. They have given us the go-ahead to try to make a move on the Inquest. Even though their lab is outside the jurisdiction of Rata Sum proper, members of the Arcane Eye are going to help establish a perimeter around the facility to ensure people don't try to escape. What we need is a competent group of guerrilla fighters to infiltrate, and I know you guys have some experience in that arena.
I mean, I have to say, you probably also know then that we don't really leave a lot of survivors.
Yeah.
We did have 2 escapees last time. Slight scar mark on our record.
One came back though, and I killed him. So it's just one that got away.
Did we know that? I don't
I
remember.
think we did.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But also Quip is alive, and I mean, that's, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna need her?
Quippa crosses her arms and just says, yeah, they can have a deft touch when they need one. It helps when they're getting paid to do so. They'll need me as long as I'm useful. And I plan on being useful for a very long time. Besides, only I can really tell you how to get in. Better than that, I can get you there. I can tell you right now that half the people in that place would probably just run away from the very sight of you. So, might not rack up as many kills as you're used to. Though if you did, it wouldn't be any skin off my back.
So I hate to be rude here, but Zoja, how do we know Quippa's not gonna like, lead us to some pit of despair? Booby
Turn
trapped
on us.
entrance, turn on us. Lead us to
I
a
mean,
place where she knows
that's
there's
the
Oh,
defenses.
Rhoda.
situation for me,
Yeah.
because then we can kill her.
Yeah.
Says, "Oh no! Oh no! You misunderstand. Quippa will be providing information about the facility to you, and she
Oh.
will help you gain access to the facility. We're not letting her out of our sight. She'll stay here in Rata Sum.
Okay.
In exchange for her cooperation, she'll be placed under a sort of house arrest here in the city as long as she continues to be of service to the Arcane Council."
How much
Right.
of the inquest is left?
Quippa says, "Well, it's hard to know for sure. I'm not really a part of them anymore. I left the organization when I found their restrictions too stifling." Zoja kind of snorts a little. Says, "She means they kicked her out when she became problematic." Potatoes, potatoes, darling. In any case, inside the headquarters, on a good day, the labs are fully stocked. Maybe 25, 30 people.
No, I meant the whole organization.
I don't know. Maybe 100, a little more. Scattered around. We have labs all over the world. None of them as big as the Crucible. But your peacemakers already know about most of those. They've been harassing us there for quite some time. Our labs, for the most part, aren't hidden.
Oh,
We're a legitimate crew. We just do the work that no one else is willing to do. We
It's
don't
funny that you
bind
still say
ourselves.
we, even though you were kicked out of the Inquest, huh?
I wasn't kicked out, I left.
Yeah. But it's still we and us.
Visionaries.
Brina, I think
Visionaries
it's
like me.
might be a sore spot for her. I wouldn't.
I would
Anyways,
just,
you were
if
saying.
there's no inquest, then there's nothing else. She doesn't have any more use, so.
Yeah.
Zoja kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
sigh. It's just like, unfortunately, she could still potentially be useful. She has a lot of information on their experiments, their methodologies, their locations, and their resources. So, as much as I hate to admit it, she has studied under Kudu. And while he is a sadistic and unscrupulous jerk, he was a student of Snaff, who was also my mentor. So, what he's taught her has not been altogether unuseful. They just like to not limit themselves to morally and ethically acceptable methods of experimentation.
Are we supposed to bring Kudu back alive? Or like, what if we do?
Both of them simultaneously say no in a deadpan voice.
Well, there we go.
Kind of like looks at her real fast and gives her this look like, "Ooh, you bitch," like just plain to see on her face. And Zoja just turns to you and says, "Not necessarily. No. If you can capture him and bring him back alive, that would be fine. We would turn him over to the Arcane Eye for
Yeah.
questioning. But
And then she's not useful.
that's not a bad point."
Yeah.
You see Quippa just
Pretty
kind of
good
give
point,
her
I
this
think.
equal stink eye right back, just taking as well as she gives.
So is there? So our job. Let me just get this straight. We are infiltrating this, but we don't need any survivors. We're just clearing house. I guess I'm a little confused.
I mean, we don't have
Are we
to
looking for
kill.
something in particular, or?
But we want their research on the dragons, don't we too?
These people aren't necessarily. I don't know. It's hard to say they're not bad. It's very fringe, and the fringe is really dark gray. But it's gray.
No, I'm not wondering
So
like.
these are Asuran citizens, for the most part. Some of the things they've done have merited that they receive harsh treatment, and so I'm not going to judge how you decide to handle whatever you encounter when you're there.
Right.
They're
yeah.
working with dangerous
Oh.
dragon magic. They're
Oh.
using live test subjects for their terrible experiments.
Oh,
Stopping Kudu is the priority. The research he's done on elder dragons, though, is rivaled only by the Derman Priory. So I'm going to give you this. She reaches down into like a little satchel at her side. She hands you. You've seen one of these before. It's an Asuran data crystal.
Hmm.
You should be able to take this and save a copy of any research that you find that could be useful. Once that's done and Kudu has been captured or killed, preferably killed, we'll also like you to destroy the entire facility if you can manage it. It's
ooh.
a fairly large facility from what I'm told, and she gives Quippa this sort of like, well, kind of expression. But if you can ensure that the experiments and the data there can't be recovered by Kudu's successor, or even worse, escape into the wild, it would be much appreciated.
What should
Okay.
we do with like test subject? We encounter them. I mean, clearly some of these beings might still be members of society. However horrible this has happened to them.
Zoja
Would we be able to
says,
send them to the perimeter?
yes, in the unlikely event that you run into live human or Asuran, Norn, Char, Sylvari test subjects, if you can rescue them, send them out the front doors, we will have a perimeter of Arcane Eye agents out hidden, but they'll be keeping an eye on things, so they should be able to rescue anyone that you can get free of the facility. At that point, Quippa pipes up and just says, yes, the front doors are pretty big. You can't miss them. When I teleport you in, you'll arrive at a teleportation gate surrounded by the 3 exterior doors. Just point them that direction. The doors open easily from the inside. They'll find themselves in the wilderness, but as Zoja has said, there should be people there to pick them up. Quippa thinks kind of hard for a second and says, the only place you're likely to encounter living subjects would be in the specimen preparation lab on the 2nd level. If they're not there, they won't be anywhere. Zoja kind of motions to the table and kind of beckons you all around as she lays out kind of a schematic or a blueprint, and just motions to Quippa, come on. Quippa takes a deep breath, puts her hands on the table and starts pointing, and says, okay, Bukas, listen up. The Crucible is the code name of the Inquest headquarters. Its full name is the Crucible of Eternity. It's a pretentious name. It's something Kudu came up with. At this site, they capture dragon minions, and they experiment on them in a variety of ways. The Crucible itself is designed to siphon magic away from these specimens and combine it in the Mark II Arcanic Reactor, which powers the entire facility. I can teleport you into the entry hall, but once I do, the gate will automatically deactivate. Your biosignatures are not registered as valid users, and my glyph key won't open the doors since I left. The alarm might sound. Either way, you'll immediately be confronted with a couple of guards, and you'll just have to deal with them in whatever way seems best to you.
Party handshakes.
There should be a light complement of standard Inquest guards in Magitech armor. They will, of course, have sentry golems with protective shielding, probably a handful of evokers, and then there's always the management. The facility is not one contiguous building. It's actually divided up into multiple sites scattered around the area that you'll be teleporting into. Each sector of the facility is housed separately deep underground, and teleportation gates are the only way to get in or out of a sector. In order to activate a sector's gate to travel to a different one, you'll need to get a working glyph key from the sector's manager. Once you arrive in a new sector, the gates will deactivate again until an appropriate manager's glyph key is used to reactivate them. And she kind of holds out this thing. It looks like a D8. It's kind of like a diamond-shaped crystal on a little like gold lanyard chain around her neck. She sort of pulls it out and dangles it. This is what they look like. Once you have one, it's keyed to a specific level of access. If you have two of them, you can hold them together, concentrate, and transfer an attunement from one to the other. So eventually, you could potentially have one key or multiple keys attuned to all the different levels. The first floor, and the only one that I've really been privy to myself, is the data lab. It's the only floor with exterior access. From there, you can use a gate in the server room to access the lower levels. The server is behind a pretty potent firewall, but it's where they keep most of their data and telemetry from analysis of the experiments, and the crew that works on that floor processes that data. Most of them aren't fighters, but they are all modest spellcasters. So you'll have to be careful. Now, I don't know where Kudu's inner sanctum is. He never trusted me enough to reveal that. You'll have to figure that out for yourselves. Do you have any questions? I know it's a lot of information.
Is there any risk of them destroying the dragon data, or like, is there any reason to be stealthy, or are we fine going in guns blazing?
Well, the entire facility is connected by a single alarm. There are different levels of readiness that the crews there are prepared to deal with. So the longer you can go without setting off too many alarm bells, the better. The higher the alert level, the greater the danger becomes when you go from sector to sector. It gives them time to prepare, to activate different countermeasures and things like that. Aside from that, honestly, the little mooks that run the data lab, they'd cut off their left arm before they harm the mainframe. The data's too valuable to them.
Gotcha. And the alarm is just manually operated, so it wouldn't be automatically triggered by non-Asurans being in the building or anything?
No, someone, usually one of the managers, would have to use their terminal, their consoles, to activate that. There are security stations throughout the facility that could also. So if you see a guard at a terminal, they're able to sound the alarm.
Okay. And we could use that same terminal with the guards, like key or access to disable the alarm?
Potentially.
Okay.
What kinds of abilities do these casters and golems and things have? What kind? Do they shoot lightning, or do they grab people, or what kinds of What can we expect in terms
The
of
Sentry
firepower?
golems. The sentry golems are heavily shielded, heavily armored. They're very durable. They're outfitted with the latest blaster tech. So mostly ranged attackers from the basic sentry golems. The guards themselves also armed with blasters. Some of them are probably sporting newer models than I've seen, but generally speaking, it's radiant damage. It's like a blistering heat, but not quite fire. Sort of condensed energy, if you will. The managers have a slightly different tack. Most of those have some sort of power suit, kind of like the guards you encountered in my lab, or should I say, Mr. Townsend's lab.
Hmm.
So they're a little more resilient, but they favor more hand-to-hand combat.
Hmm.
The general day-to-day analysts, researchers, scientists are more of your garden variety, spell slingers, counter spells, things of that nature. Some illusion magic. They're not very potent in a one-on-one duel. I could best all of them, but
I'm sure.
now the evokers you have to watch out for. Talented evocation mages, conjuration, yeah, much more potent spell casting. They're just a step down from proper middle management.
Are there any traps that you know of that we should watch out for, or any type of defense mechanisms aside from the actual soldiers?
Mostly just the sentry golems.
Okay.
If you make your way into the specimen vaults, you would probably need to watch out for some of the test subjects. The crew in the shit, what's it called? Yeah, the crew in the specimen vault, they irradiate test subjects with dragon magic and transform them, turning them into mindless, monstrous minions of their own. Something of a pet project of Kudu's, trying to create minions that are loyal to him and him alone.
And is there anything that you can tell us about Kudu's abilities himself? Anything we should particularly keep an eye out for?
Kudu, much as I hate him, the mad genius. He is extremely intelligent, but whatever it is he's working on in his inner sanctum is top secret. It's not even shared with the highest levels of Inquest rank. The Arcanic Reactor, it's an infinite coil propagation design, similar to what we used at Thaumanova, but it's much more stable. It uses the latest extra-dimensional segmentation to limit the effects of unbound magic that might leak its way out and find its way past safety protocols.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's exactly the sort of thing we were trying to avoid. But Kudu, he likes to play with that sort of thing. Wild, chaotic magic. I know his experiments revolve around that. He's been doing a lot of work in collapsing waveform probability. I hear their Golomancy expert has a sort of passion for that. Apparently, he handpicked her. Lucky bitch. But his experiments, I'm not quite sure.
Is
So
Quippa like jealous? Like, does she have a romantic thing with Kudu?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
18. It seems to you like this is a jealousy of a position of authority
Okay.
rather than a romantic interest.
hmm.
Kudu
well, that-
has the power and the authority that she covets, and
Hmm.
this position was not given to her. With an 18, I would say, like, able to draw the conclusion this might be related to why she left.
Well, let me ask this: if we're supposed to, kind of destroy this crucible, Is there any way to shake that reactor out of balance and, bring the walls tumbling down?
Quippa starts to give kind of a wishy-washy answer, like, well, and then Zoja cuts her off. She was never important enough to be privy to that sort of information, unfortunately for us.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can tell you that most Asuran experiments have a sort of margin for error, and the Inquest likes to play it kind of fast and loose, more so than the rest. So I would not be surprised at all if there was a way to undo things by wrecking a little bit.
Would wrecking the reactor though cause an accident like what happened to Alexa? Would it be dangerous to people outside of the facility?
Quippa says, well, in theory, no. Because of the extra-dimensional segmentation, it should, if the safety protocols work correctly, keep it isolated into its own sort of demi-plane. Worst case scenario, the plane itself collapses inward as a sort of implosive, explosive reaction, either crushing you all to death or blipping you out into the middle of the mists somewhere.
Well, let's take our chances, I guess.
At that
Well,
point, Zoja
right.
pipes up and says,
That's great.
Yes. Incidentally, she reaches down into her satchel again and pulls out a scroll that is rolled from each end, so like a double scroll. It's tightly bound with a little wax stamp, and she hands that to Yalatar. And she says, if worst comes to worst, and the place starts to fall down around your ears, you should be able to use this. And I have brokered an agreement with the Gatekeeping Guild in exchange for your assistance in destroying the Crucible, as well as several other recent achievements of yours. Those of you who can use teleportation magic will henceforth be allowed to use Asura Gates as destinations. The glyphs that we use for our teleportation circles will be made available to you free of charge.
That's
Great.
nice.
Yeah.
Is
Thank
this just a spell scroll, or does it list all of those?
As you open it up, it is a spell scroll of teleport.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
single action to cast, and can take you to a place. She kind of scribbles down on a sheet of paper, and it takes her about a minute. She's very careful and very precise, but she hands it over to you and says, "This is the Asura Gate in the Creative Commons here in the city. It's the main gate."
Cool. Do we have time that I could copy this into my spell book just in case?
So this is a usable scroll, so you'd have to make a roll for it.
Yeah, but it's the roll is Arcana based, right? On the DC to copy spell scrolls, isn't it Arcana?
Don't.
And then
remember
it's
if
just 10
Arcana or
plus
just
spell level?
Intelligent.
I thought it
I
was
think
int.
we just did this on downtime and it was Arcana, but I could be wrong.
Oh.
But yeah, it is an Arcana check. So this would be a DC 17 Arcana check.
Yeah, and I've got a plus 15 to Arcana, so as long as we're not a nat 1, should be
Alright.
good.
Yeah.
Never say never.
But if we copy it
You
down,
need to take
then
a long rest, and
yeah, we'd have to wait it. Then in case anything happens, we would have an emergency second teleport if we needed it.
Zoja just says, "Yeah, I suppose so. If you've got the time."
Question. Is there any way I convince the arcane can convince the Arcane Council to let me kill her?
Zoja
Whoa.
gives you this toothy grin.
It's a very serious question.
Quippa just crosses her arms and gives you the stink eye, and Zoja says,
Like if I bring back Kudu,
not now. Maybe in the future,
hmm,
depending on how she behaves," and just like gives her this withering look.
all right.
Quippa just sort of like makes a little like face at you, like wrinkles up her little nose. Yeah, our people aren't a bunch of bloodthirsty savages. I'm sorry.
God, I want to flick her little nose. Ooh, sorry, I dropped my pen. Brina kind of asks, this might be a silly question given the research practices of the Inquest, but do we know if there's any way to reverse the effects of the dragon magic on the test subjects?
Quippa just kind of lets out. It's not even a chuckle so much as a. No. No, once they've been irradiated, they are corrupted. It's just like branded or ice brewed. But this is even a weirder amalgamation because it's not done from a proper dragon. No, they're functionally not people anymore. It's really fascinating to watch.
Yeah,
Pass.
sure, it's super fun. I hope Kala gets to squish you like a bug, but in the meantime,
Right, we can make bringing Kudu back a priority. Alive, that is.
I was also thinking, like, if we just kill everyone at every Inquest lab, then that's also problem solved.
I fucking
Yeah,
love
that or
Kala.
just catch them all. I mean, we got the Pokeball. We'll be fine.
We can only put one person in that.
Oh, I thought, but you got to catch them all. I mean, that's what a Pokeball is good for. Just
All right, Galatar, go home.
but also if we wait a day to go, we could do the spell that Kitri can do to help us with maybe being more prepared to deal with spellcasters and some of their effects.
Doja
We can
just
spend the
says,
night.
It's up to you guys. They don't know we're coming, so.
Oh boy, we don't know where we're going either.
Doja pulls out a world map. And it's kind of blurred around the edges because there's a lot of unexplored territory in Tyria. But she points to a region far to the east, about the same latitude. It's south of Lion's Arch, but it's to the east in the low southern end of the Shiver Peak Mountains. And she tells you there's this little range here that kind of makes a little L shape. It's called the Steam Spur Mountain Range. There's a big volcano here, Mount Maelstrom. We got a crew out there that's been doing some research for several years. Turns out the facility is not terribly far from there. It's just a couple of days travel into the mountains nearby. It's pretty secluded otherwise. Even a lot of Norn don't live down there. It was a big dwarven place many centuries ago, but with the dwarves all kind of gone underground to fight the destroyers, it's sort of abandoned, and I guess the Inquest have moved in and made a home of it. So that's about how far away we're going.
Well, we've got plenty of water skins, so yeah.
That's half the battle. So.
Hydration's key to these kinds of things.
I guess the
No
biggest
magical
thing.
food ever.
So we are going into the Shiver Peaks then? Like, is this like cold weather gear, climbing gear?
Oh, right. Did we need to?
Quippa says, no. I will be teleporting you into the entryway.
Oh,
To a teleportation gate inside
right.
the facility.
If you're
Okay.
teleporting us, does that mean you're going with us in there?
No, they won't let me leave. I'll open the gate and you walk through.
All right. Cool.
If you do decide to go outdoors, it's actually quite temperate at that latitude. It's
Cool.
not high enough to be chilly.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, I'm ready.
Chandler, I know you think I didn't prepare spells today because you were like, you don't ever have time, but I spent my time eating lunch preparing spells. So
First of all, I wasn't wrong about the past, and secondly, deal with it.
so if we do actually want to go, unless there's still specifically want to do today,
I will say the only thing I'd have to retcon if we were like, oh, we absolutely want this would be like Heroes Feast, but I don't have the goblet and I don't have it prepared because I thought we'd be going like today, royal today and that, but
I have the thing for Heroes Feast in the bag of holding.
I just don't have it prepared today. So
Yeah, you'd have to.
unless that's like an absolute must for people, but
You could, if you're gonna wait and copy the teleportation spell, you can prepare it tomorrow morning if you want. You'll just be down a spell slot when you go,
yeah.
because you can't rest more than once in a 24-hour period. It's up to you guys.
We just waste another day.
Could go in without it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine without it.
Yeah, live on the edge.
Well, I don't think we really need it for this.
You're crazy, guys. Let's fly a little closer to the sun. We had
It's
so
just
much fun.
poison and frighten.
No, it's the wisdom save is what I was concerned about.
The what?
what
Oh,
save?
Because I do not do well with wisdom saves, so things that incapacitate me or
You'll just have to roll real well then.
right.
Jeez,
just
I
roll
do
better,
not.
dude.
But yeah, it's fine. We can just skip it and we can just use the teleportation scroll. I can always copy down one later and find one.
Okay.
That's fine. Also, if we
Cool.
have time, I guess I could always just use teleportation circle. So
Do you have that prepared?
actually I don't know if I do or not.
Well,
Maybe I
see,
didn't
we
prepare
could, we
that.
could still stay the night for you to copy it. I'd say.
Well, if we stayed the night and I copied it, we could do that.
Right. Well, I don't
I
mind.
did
doing
unprepare
that.
it. Never mind.
Yeah.
And
See.
also, I
Okay.
think,
Now we have to
doesn't
wait
that
it
have
out.
material components with a cost, like chalks or something?
It's the chalks, but it's not used by the spell.
Oh, okay.
I believe. Let me double check
I
because
think
I
I
bought
thought
the
it
things a
was.
long time ago, but I didn't think it was used by the spell. Teleportation circle. Nope, it is. It's 50 GP of chalks and inks. I was wrong. I used. Okay, so we'd need that anyway.
So yes, we have to stay the night.
Yeah,
Is that
if
what
you-
we're
if
doing?
You want to copy the spell?
It's up if everybody just wants to go a day. I don't mind not copying it. That's fine. We don't have to spend the night by any means.
I mean, is it like noon-ish time-wise?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Would we have already gotten all of the stuff we ordered, or was that like, oh, you need to go back in the afternoon and get it?
Be ready by like the end of the business day.
Okay.
Got a couple hours to kill.
Oh, if we gonna be here till this evening anyway, we might as well just spend the night and stuff tomorrow, I guess.
We could see if Haka has any of these like records that Brina was talking about.
Yeah, I got to practice my recorder, so
Yeah, it's going to take me 14 hours if I copy this spell, so I will be pretty busy.
Would you,
might wanna
forfeit
get
a
to
rest
it.
then?
Well, no, I guess at like 2 a.m. I could take a long rest if we didn't go before 10 a.m.
We don't
Right,
have
because
to
it's just as long as within a 24-hour period, I can once do like the 8 hours and then 6 hours of pure sleep and then 2 hours of like you can be awake on watch, right? Correct?
You can have a long rest
Yeah,
once in a 24-hour period.
right. But like I don't have to long rest when they do. So if I like stayed up till 2 a.m., I could then like go to sleep. And as long as we don't leave before 10 a.m., I could have slept my full 8 hours.
Yes. Why would you do that?
Well, just because I'd have to be up till 2 a.m. to copy the spell. It's 2 hours per spell
Oh.
level, so it'd be 14 hours to copy it. So if it's noon now, it wouldn't be finished till 2 a.m.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, high level spell
Technically,
copying
yeah,
takes a while.
Yeah, you could do that. You could sleep super late the next day.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have. Again, we're not on a tight timetable. I don't think.
Yeah.
We're not trying to save anybody's dad this time. So
Why do we need to copy the spell instead of just use the scroll?
Well, if we
Benefit.
copy this spell, I can do this spell potentially twice per day. Like if we needed to get out once, or if we had a short rest between. If we do the spell scroll, it would be a one-time thing. Plus, I would have it permanently for the future if I copied the spell scroll.
I
So
mean,
we'd
we
be able to
also have other
teleport
ways
anytime.
of traveling.
It's true too.
not like in a pinch, like unless we're thinking that we're going to absolutely need. I also have prepared my ability to take trips through trees.
Right. I think we'll be underground though, so I wouldn't count on a bunch of
Or if we can
trees.
get out of the building, I think it's
That's
by,
true.
by trees. But that's
But the
And
gate's all
then-
shut behind us.
If we had 10 minutes, Galatar can create the teleportation circle that we normally
But I
use.
would
No.
have to rest till tomorrow anyway. I don't have that prepared.
yeah. I think we're just kind of up a creek one way or another.
Well, look, if we have to pick up stuff later tonight anyways, Galatar, start copying the spell. We'll pick up our stuff. We'll go out in the morning. Done.
Sounds good.
Late morning.
Is there? I would assume. I know the Asura do like their spell books are just like those cubes, but would there be a place that I could find the materials required to, like, do transcription and get the?
Yeah,
Okay,
in Rata Sum.
that's what I assumed, but I know like they do Magitech, so I wasn't sure. Okay.
Rata
Zoja
Sum?
just says, if you guys need a place to stay for the night, just go down to the embassy, talk to Raga, tell her I
Oh.
sent you.
I could. Well, yeah, we could do that, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you.
I'll just wait
You
to
know,
show you the
there-
thing till some other time.
There is an inn, a sort of tavern and inn. It's called the House of Diplomatic Fraternization and Tourism Information. Colloquially, it's called the Embassy.
Oh.
It is the only real inn in Rata Sum that is geared for bukas. So with facilities large enough to accommodate you all. But there's just this kind of thinner, older Asuran woman named Raga that runs it. She's a retired teacher from the College of Statics. It's just like a 2-story building, small little like a patio garden with a couple of tables set out, like a little railing, sort of informally separating it from the street space. Glowing gemstones kind of in the ceiling, providing some soft ambient light inside. And yeah, as you guys wander through, we'll just say for the sake of brevity, Zoja arranges to house you all for the night, and you are shown to a door on the second floor, facing what should be like about the size of a jail cell, like an 8x8 room, and they open the door, and it is like a fancy hotel suite. It's got like several individual rooms. Each one has like a little ensuite bathroom and bathtub, little like mini kitchen with a little mini bar. And Raga explains to you that this like each room in this inn is like a miniature magnificent mansion. It's not like a huge sprawling mansion, but it's just like a fancy hotel suite, and they can alter it to suit different needs.
Yeah. Birdie will take some of his sage leaves and run a bath, and with some of his sage leaves in it, and take a bath.
Absolutely.
I feel like we need to talk about what sage actually is. 'Cause, like, don't
Well, it's a cure-all, Brina. He's like kind of sitting in it. I don't know what you mean. It's restorative. It's rejuvenative. It'll cleanse your body and it'll cleanse the spirits around you. So
are there
it's
any
true.
bubbles in this bath, or are you just
There's like a
Let me
variety of
go
little
hang
bath
out.
bombs nearby to give it kind of like a milky texture if you want, like some
He probably
restorative,
put some stuff in there as well, but he's definitely got like some sage leaves, like kind of torn and floating on the top.
All right, I'm
Tastefully
going
placed.
to leave before the last of those bubbles pop. Bye, Bertie. Oh god.
So Galatar, if you want to roll for your spell scroll, and
Yeah, I'll just
rest of you
disappear
check
into
with
the room and work on my spell. That is a 19 on the die, so that would
Oh,
be a
damn.
yeah, it's a 34.
Sweet.
Okay,
I say
cool.
you beat
Now
it on
have
the die.
teleport.
Sweet. That is
That
going
is
to come in
pretty
handy.
Yeah,
Great now.
Yeah, that'll come in very handy.
a free fucking teleport spell there.
Also means I can do more things with my 7th level spells. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys kill some time in town, wandering around, Kala finds some interesting meats on sticks.
The huge.
Yeah. It's quite breathtaking as the sun sets. You are high in the mountains, and there are places at the edges of this cube where balconies kind of extend out a little bit, and you're able to kind of step out and see the grandeur of this architecture. And when you're not staring at the city, you just have this gorgeous sky-high view of overlooking these mountains and the forested jungle below. Falling waterfalls like trickle off the city down into the rivers below. There are like deep canyons beneath you, and you can just see out on some of the hillsides and the cliff edges different labs and other buildings. It's really quite an experience compared to the rest of the racial capital cities. Eventually, you all get a long rest. Galtar sleeps in a bit late, and as the morning wears on, you find yourselves, I assume, once again congregating in Zoja's lab with Quippa.
Yep. Say so.
Okay. So it is 9:45. Do we want to call it here tonight and start? Yeah.
That sounds fine by me.
Yeah, I'm getting
Let's
pretty
keep going.
sleepy.
I think that sounds
I
good.
will tease you a little bit. So I'm doing a different map style this time.
Oh,
Yeah, in an effort to cut
Okay.
down on all the time, I'm using black and white maps. So let me pull you guys onto this.
how dare you don't spend 20 hours a week on these G&D maps, Brian?
I
Simply
just spend the 20
unacceptable.
hours differently is all. I just spend way
Unacceptable.
too much time.
Uh-oh.
So
Of course, we already see a gentleman.
I think you can see the,
Oh, no.
Actually pretty sick though.
Ooh.
locked doors, north,
Uh-huh.
east, and west. So those are the three
Mhm.
exterior doors that Quippa told you about.
Okay.
You find yourselves teleported into this sort of curved alcove with a teleportation circle, and you all sort of emerge and spread out. When we pick up next time, you will see that in the center of this long chamber, where you can just vaguely tell it kind of widens out into two more curved alcoves on the eastern and western sides, there is a pedestal in the center of the hall, about 3 feet high, and standing atop that is about a 4-foot high bronze statue of Director Kudu. Like book in one hand, other hand in the air, like a stylized bronze flame in his hand. But then, yes, beyond that, about 60 feet away from you ish, kind of standing against the curved alcove on the southern wall, is what looks like an Asuran in an Iron Man suit. And that is where we will kind of pick that up next time.
Do we
Yeah.
want to say our prep spells now or do that later? Because obviously
ahead
we're
and
not
say it if
going
you
in.
want.
I would have my safe activated and Sahak wheel.
Oh yeah, I would have done my favorite of Cormier ability
Hmm.
before we teleported.
You
And
did-
I will. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jan.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just doing the whole sword and shield combo again because that worked out pretty well last time, and I think that might be the direction to head in for a minute. And I'm gonna go ahead and activate this sword prior to.
Okay.
Actually, I'm
Flame
going to
on.
hold Sahak wheel, but I will go with C invisibility.
Okay. What is it the sock wheel does again?
It's my the stars, crown of stars.
Crown of Stars. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and cast Gift of Alacrity on Brina before we go as well. So you have that.
Don't really have any prep, but before walking through the portal, look at Quippa and say, I hope you escape. And then just go through the portal.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I really want to see Kala take her out.
That's the plan. Just gotta figure out how to make it work.
That's on the short list of things to do.
Rescue Kudu just to kill Quippa.
Hey, we'll bring him back alive. We can do it.
That would be Colin's
So
suggestion
when
to
do we
everyone is
want to
to
play
bring him back
again?
alive.